Okay, let's test the audio on the preview. Test the audio on the preview. Another audio test. It's going to take a while because it's going to go all the way through YouTube, which takes a while. Another audio test. Okay, seems to work. Let's get some VODs to play. Where are my VODs at? There. All right. Listen to that drum intro. All right. We're pretty much ready to go. Looking good. That looks good. That looks good. Go ahead and test out the chat real quick. Looks like the chat is working as well. All right, we just need some people to watch with now. Everything turned on. All right. I think we're ready to go. Let's go ahead and turn on the webcam. Turn off the starting soon. Make sure we got chat up. And Haswem, you 100% have the first on this. It's visual evidence on the screen. How's it going? How are you doing? Hope you're having a good holiday if you celebrate it. And if you don't celebrate it, then hope you're having a good non-holiday. Ready for some StarCraft? We're going to start watching Group D, I think, of the OSL that we've been watching before. Let me know if you need an update on what's been going on. This is going to be the... Well, this is the least promising. I won't say this is going to be the least interesting because we don't know. The least promising group. Although, this game is actually going to be pretty good. Well, actually, no. This is going to be a good group, actually. I didn't think about it too much. But Sync, Go Rush, Good Friend, and Choja. Oh, sorry if you can hear the crinkling of that dessert I've got here. Are all really good players, actually. So this is going to be interesting. Quarantining for 2 weeks. Like quarantine, like you might have gotten exposed and you're quarantining, or quarantining like just isolating. Because I've been isolating, meaning like I wasn't exposed that I know of, but I'm just isolating to make sure that. Because I'm going to try and go visit some family next week. So if I haven't been anywhere for 2 weeks, then I can know that there's no risk, right? I've got a little like peppermint cream chocolate or something like that dessert I'm going to have here as we get started in this group. Oh, you tested positive. Oh. Wow. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better, man. That's scary. That's scary. Hey, Marty. When was the last time I was in Korea? It has been quite a while. I haven't been back since I left when I was casting there, which was 2012. So it's been about 8 years since I was in Korea. You got a PC at the right time. Nice. Good stuff. What is Cold War? I'm assuming it's a game. Unless you mean by grinding Cold War, you're actually like, you know, doing espionage against communists or something. Oh, it's a new Call of Duty. Nice. I remember playing the original Call of Duty like 20 years ago, 18, 20 years ago, something like that. I think it was a World War II game at first. Yeah, I had some fun stories from Korea for sure. I like to tell, but yeah, if you have any questions about Korea, let me know. What match is this? This is the round of 16, Group D, game number 1 of the IOPS OSL. So the previous OSL that I did was the 2004 Ever OSL, and this is the OSL that's right after it. And I was kind of cold earlier, so I put on my like robe. I figured it'd be nice and cozy, but like I'm actually kind of warm. So this is like the beginning of this is like January of 2005 is when these games are being played, and this is the last group of the round of 16. And there's mostly been surprises so far. I'm actually gonna go pull up the standings just to make sure I remember who's in the other groups. In the background here. There we go. I wish I read Korean quickly enough that I could try and decipher some of these signs or whatever. So Alright, so I got that pulled up now. Someone asked me a question a second ago. Got too many windows open here. Trying to find the chat window. And this is, by the way, to fully answer your question, this is Sync versus Go Rush, which is going to be actually, I think, a really good game. Sync is like super solid Terran. He's actually one of the best Terrans of this age. He's actually put a factory on the low ground, and that's interesting. This is an island map. Oh, overlord. It's going nowhere to go. Alright, let me find the chat window. Oh, that's some good dessert. So, did I visit any Korean pro houses? I did, kind of, but not really. The NBC Game House was actually like attached to the studio, so I kind of like walked by it and I looked in a couple times, but I didn't really get to look around at all. I didn't really get to go into any of the major gaming houses, though. The kind of is because I actually did get to go to one of the League of Legends teams houses, but it wasn't like a full-on gaming house like you would have for a StarCraft team. It was like a team that had never won anything before. Oh, look at this. He's just gonna siege up on the low ground. This is brutal. That's why he put the factory on the low ground. Sync is definitely abusing this map. I shouldn't say abusing, but like making use of the features of this map. Yeah, this is looking pretty good for Sync, actually. This is smart to put his float his factory to the low ground and his barracks and make units on the low ground to do this. Because now Go Rush is just like screwed. What can he do? He's got Hydralisks. I guess maybe he can kill them tanks with the Hydralisks. Yeah, actually he's gonna kill the tank. All right, but he could just siege up a little bit farther out of range of the Hydralisks, and put his Marines in a better spot. It's not looking good. So I did go to a League of Legends team house once. That was, it was like a tiny apartment. And we're talking about like one room and a little kitchenette. You know, the whole apartment was like made for like one person basically, but there were 6 people living in this apartment. So it doesn't really count like as a gaming house exactly, but it was technically the house of a pro team. So I never really got to check out any of the real pro team houses like for the major teams though. And then they won the League of Legends championship and got like $1 million.
I've watched your casts since the early days, so here's for all the casts I enjoyed.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm actually, it's too small for me to see. Okay, I gotta pull up one more thing here so I can see the alerts. Sorry about that. I'm gonna thank you more in just a moment here. I have to pull up so many different things on the side. He is just rock. Okay, now there's mutas out. Now this he could theoretically turn this around with the mutalisks, with just the mutalisks. All right, let me pull it up here. Kame or Kame? I'm assuming it's pronounced Kame. Thank you so much for the tip. I appreciate that. That's cool that you've been watching for so long, man. It's always nice to hear about people that are like, you know, have been watching for years and years and years. It just feels good for some reason. He got that hatchery. All right, well, the mutas cleaned everything up. So now, can he counterattack though? If Sync doesn't have any defenses, then this counterattack could be deadly. And he's only defending with cloaked wraiths, which actually is kind of smart. This is actually kind of smart because the overlords, there's no way he has speed upgrade on the overlords yet, so he can't get an overlord close enough to actually deal with the wraiths. But he hasn't finished cloak yet though. He has to wait for cloak to finish upgrading. If he snipes the cloak, oh, go for the control tower! Go for the control tower before cloak is upgraded, you fool! Kill the cloak! Oh my god, now he's going for it. Okay. Is he gonna get it? If he gets Cloak before Cloak, he just wins. But he's not going for it. He finished Cloak! If he'd gone for the control tower first, he never would have finished Cloak, and Go Rush would have just won the game. Instead, he couldn't decide where to attack. That's unfortunate. So now Sync is going to fight, but now Sync, I think, wins this. Anyway, is the game still playable? Yes, this is totally still playable. In fact, a few years ago, they remastered the game. They redid the graphics and stuff. So it looks a little bit more modern, but it's still the same old, like the controls and everything are still old. So, but it's still fun. I mean, a lot of people play it because they played it for a long time. No one really new plays this game because it's so old, but it is definitely still playable. And it's so old that you can play it on like anything. You can play it on old crappy computers and it still works fine. What was I gonna, there's something else I was gonna say. I don't remember what I was gonna say. Something else about it, about this game. But yeah, I mean these games are super old though. Where's the sub button at? I think I've got an explanation set up. There we go. Yeah, my subs don't work. my Twitch channel is so old that it's broken. It doesn't have subscriptions on it, and I've tried to get help and I can't get help, so I just don't have a sub button. So that's why I have a separate thing set up instead. Didn't get the tower in time, I know, right? Let's see. Oh, spoiler-free way to look at Wikipedia pages on tournaments. Is he killing his own? Oh, he's killing the machine shop. I see. Okay, that he used to do the research. Okay. I usually will just go to the Wikipedia page or the Liquipedia page, and I'll just like I'll literally actually just squint to like make it blurry, and then I'll scroll down to like the point where it like shows the maps or the round of 16 or something like that. So that way, like, I'm not seeing it, and it's hard to do, and sometimes stuff gets spoiled for me, but that's the only real way to do it, unfortunately. I don't know of any other way to see stuff. Some of the old threads on Team Liquid have the different sections of the tournament in spoiler tags, so you can actually open them up and see just the part that you want to. But it is hard to see what has happened on these. But that's how I usually do it though. Is I just kind of squint. It's kind of ghetto, but that's the only way to really do it. So let's see. Sounds pretty horrible living. Yeah. I mean, like I said, the place was so small. Like I said, there were 6 of them living in basically one room, right? And what they would do is they had desks set up with their computers, and it was just barely enough space for 5 or 6 computers. I say 5 because I think there were 5 people living there, and then one of them wasn't one of the players. I don't know if he had a computer or not, but let's say 6 computers. And then what they would do is at midnight, they would tuck in their chairs underneath the desks, and they would lay down sleeping pads in between the desks, and that's where they would sleep at night. And then in the morning, they would all get up, roll up their sleeping pads, tuck them away, pull out their chairs, and then it would be gaming again. So it was pretty ridiculous. But that's what you had to do in Korea. I mean, that's how like they were able to survive basically. And I think sometimes they go out to a PC bang, which is like a internet cafe, and play games outside of their house or whatever. But that's the thing, is they did that because they were hardcore and they practiced, and they were actually the B team. So the A team of that team was like one of the best teams, and they were the B team. And they practiced so hard in this terrible conditions. They won the championships that year, even though they were the underdogs and they were the B team. And they beat the A team in the finals to prove that they were the best. And they won so much money that they were able to move out of that tiny apartment into like a mansion, basically. because now they were the A team essentially, and they were just so successful, and they won. Like I said, when I said $1 million, I meant that literally. They didn't just win like a bunch of money. They won as a team $1 million. So each of the team members got 200,000. So they were able to afford much better place after that. Do new people still play it in Korea? Probably, yeah. I think probably new people do pick this up in Korea, but not as much though, because actually now other games are more popular in Korea. League of Legends is more popular. I don't actually know even what other games are being played more there, but this is crazy, by the way. This is turning into... I didn't expect this to turn into a long game. I thought the tanks were going to win on the low ground, and then somehow Go Rush managed to fight it off. And then I thought the Mutas were going to win it, but he screwed up with the control tower. He would have won. I'm serious. I'm pretty sure if he kills that control tower, he wins. It's as simple as that. And he didn't control the control tower. I'm not sure why not. Maybe he didn't think he could kill it in time, and he wanted to go for other targets. Not sure. But if he kills that control tower, he wins. So then he doesn't win. And then I thought the Wraiths were going to win it, because then I thought he could counterattack and kill drones and stuff, and he still didn't win off that either. So this has turned into a long game after all. Oh, PUBG. Yeah, PUBG is popular in Korea too. Yeah. And there's other games actually too that are just Korean games that, like, I don't know if they play it anymore, but there used to be a game called Sudden Attack, which was basically a Korean version of like Counter-Strike. But it wasn't a game that Americans played. So if I said, oh, there's a Sudden Attack team, people would be like, what? What are you talking about? So there's other games that they play there too. Those lurkers got shut down. This is kind of cool that Go Rush took the middle. He took the base of the middle of the map. Yeah, so yeah, because like on GameNet and the gaming stations used to actually have Sudden Attack tournaments also. I haven't actually seen... Is the Cold War game, is that one that just came out recently? Or is that one that's been out for like a little while? I know that one of the... I don't follow shooters very much, but I know that one of those big shooters came out like just not that long ago. I know that the Modern Warfare... or what is it called? One of the Battle Royales came out like a few months ago, 3 or 4 months ago. I didn't know if it was the same one or not, though. Yeah, I thought it was Call of Duty had a Battle Royale that came out recently. He's got a lot of Hydralisks, by the way. This is actually crazy. I don't know if Sync has stuff to deal with this, actually. It's interesting how some games become more popular in different countries. Like I think in China, sometimes games are popular games are a little bit more different, or a little different. League of Legends is popular like everywhere, but like I think Dota, for example, is more popular in China, and World of Warcraft, whereas those didn't really ever get a lot of attention in Korea. Hey Renziken, thank you very much. I will indeed keep doing my thing. I don't even know who's gonna win this game actually, because like Go Rush has a pretty big map control, but Sync just has this giant army. I don't know if he knows about the middle base. He could probably kill it if he wanted to. Oh my god, no, actually Go Rush has a huge army too. Oh, this is it! This is it! The massive battle! It's a beautiful irradiate. Oh, those irradiates are doing so much damage because they're killing mutas and hydras underneath. But he's killed all of the bio. The mutas are gonna wipe. No, there's still a little bio left. Oh, but he can win. No, go back in. Go back in. I guess he's gonna wait for another group of units to go back in. But he could have. Okay, now he's got some more mutas. Now he can just kill everything. So those tanks are defenseless. Oh man. Even if he gets an irradiate off, his units are spread out, so it won't matter that much. Oh, that is disgusting. That is just so powerful. Look at all those mutas. Mass muta Hydra with lurkers. This is crazy. And I guess it's because Goresh has 4 gas, because he has that right side base, so he can afford all this. Sync's still fighting, though. I don't know if he knows how bad of shape he's in. He can't get out of his... Right now, Sync needs a 3rd, but he can't get it. Oh, there's 2 gases in the middle! Did I see that right? Hold on a sec. I think there's... I didn't know there's 2 gases in the middle on this map. Show it again. Show the base. Show the base. They're gonna show it in a sec. Hold on. Yeah! There's 2 gases in the middle. Oh, that's why he has so many high-tech units. He's got the main, he's got the natural, he's got 2 here, he's got 5 gas mines. Oh, man. Oh, no wonder he's just destroying this. That's crazy. I read about why WoW didn't do as well in Korea. It had to do with being hard to play with one hand, so smokers didn't like it compared to games like Diablo. That is interesting. I hadn't heard that before. But StarCraft you obviously can't play with one hand, so like I guess it's different though. It's like a casual genre, right? Yeah, you can totally play Diablo with one hand mostly, can't you? Yeah, it's interesting to think about that. I didn't know that smoking was a thing that was people were so into. You can play US maps with StarCraft with one hand? Yeah, I guess some of them. I don't know how Sync is going to get out of this. He's built up another decent army, but like Goresh has so much stuff right now. He's been mining 5 gases for so long. This is disgusting. This is, in fact, I'm just going to call it. I think this is only a matter of time. So like 2 vessels. If he had like 8 vessels, if it hadn't been losing any science vessels and he still had like 8 science vessels, he could just mass irradiate everything. Maybe he could get back in this, but he's only got 2 vessels. Crater Spire now. Yeah, if he can get a handful of Guardians with this army, then... Although he hasn't rebuilt his Hydras, so... His army's a little bit vulnerable. I haven't played any... I haven't played too many US maps, but... Even the ones that I have, usually you would need to do 2 hands because you're needing to at least... I don't know. Well, I guess you could play them with just clicking on the buttons instead of hitting the hotkeys, but that's like the whole, you know, how you be good at StarCraft is with the hotkeys, right? So I don't know. This game is insane. Oh my god, he's unmorphing them to move them? I'm not sure why he unmorphed them there actually. But he has enough money for a dozen Guardians. That is disgusting. Okay, now he sees the middle base and he's gonna go after it. Why did he stop morphing the Guardians? Maybe he was worried about them getting irradiated or killed? But now they're going to be so far away they can't really help in the battle very quickly. They're too far north. He's going to lose this base before the Guardians can get there now. Jesus, that is 15 Guardians. Holy crap. Yeah, I think he's going to get this base now. Oh, the flank, though. The flank draws the Marines to the left. The Guardians come in from the right. Shit, yeah, okay. I mean, yeah, once the Guardians finally got there, that's game over, man. Do I remember Nuke After Night? You mean Nuke at Night? I remember Nuke the Stars. Nuke at Night was one of his, like, video series. Is that who you're talking about? In which case, yes, I do remember him. I talked with him. He was actually on, I had him on as a guest interview on one of my live broadcasts from a couple months ago. Yeah, he's looking at that. See, because he was able to get a few irradiates off, and it did a lot of damage. But if he has 4 or 5 more irradiates because he has more vessels, then he could theoretically hold that off. But without it, these Guardians are just going to kill off everything. And Sync doesn't have a 3rd. So... By the way, Peacefinder, welcome, by the way. But the YouTube YouTube is like 20 or 30 seconds behind, so if I'm slow to respond back to you, that's why, because whatever I said to you, you're gonna hear it, and then if you type something else, it'll still be like 30 more seconds till I can respond to it. So I don't know why though. Twitch is instant. Twitch is like just a second after I say it, it goes out on stream, and YouTube is like way far behind for some reason. But yeah, I had Nuke on as a guest on a show I did, or a live fake live finals a few months ago, and I talk to him on Twitter sometimes. Well, I mean, he's built up several. How is Six still alive? How is he still in this game? Is Terran just OP? Please be careful of those Scourge, though. Oh no, he lost them to Hydras. Oh, he saves him from the Scourge, though. But those Lurkers did a lot of damage there. I mean, yeah, you can't irradiate Hydras, bro. I mean, you can, but it just doesn't do enough good. He needs to save irradiates for Lurkers and stuff. Okay, he killed the right side base, but the top right base is up to replace it. He still kept his middle base. If he killed the middle base, maybe, if he killed the middle base, maybe he would have had a chance. But he's still got those 2 gas mines going. Look at all those drones popping out there to, I guess they're good. Well, I don't know where those drones are going, actually. Maybe he's going to try and make more bases. Nuke the Stores was cool commentary. What did we talk about? I don't remember. I think we were just kind of catching up. Talking about stuff that he's been up to. Nuke has a book out now. Yeah, look at that. He can't. There's just too much stuff. Too much Zerg stuff. Nuke published a book. It's called Guns and Spiders. It sounds very interesting. I haven't read it, but it sounds like a very interesting book. You liked him a bit better? That's perfectly fine. I'm not my own favorite commentator, so that's fine. Yeah, Nuke's a cool guy. I like Nuke a lot. So Gorush, look at him. He's like, he won the game. He almost seems like disappointed in the game. Right? He did win, right? Yeah, I mean, there's no way he loses this. I actually like looked away for a second. I didn't see the GG. Or I mean, I didn't pay attention to GG. I think I looked at it, but I just didn't think about it. There we go. Yeah, Gorush won. So nice, very nice. But yeah, I mean, if you look up Nuke the Stars on Twitter, he probably has some more information about what he's up to and stuff. And there's a VOD of that broadcast with the interview as well. So if you really want to go back and listen to it. But I think we just talked about just basically hi, what you've been up to and that kind of stuff. So I had an interview with Diggity as well on that broadcast. How's it going, Black Hand? Welcome. We're just getting into Group D of the OSL we've been watching. I love that spinning around view of Yellow and Boxer facing off. Of course, now their Boxer's been eliminated, so it doesn't matter. We're not going to be able to see a rematch of that. Let's see. They were in the same group too. Can't believe he bunker rushed on an air map. Good old Boxer. Alright, I got way too many freaking windows open here. Trying to find chat. How am I doing? I'm pretty good. Pretty good. Kind of a laid back Christmas, you know. It's not a very normal Christmas because of the pandemic and everything, so I'm not traveling or anything like that, so just chilling. Just chilling today. Just thought I'd have a little cozy VOD watching stream for the evening. Alright, this is going to be Good Friend versus Choja. This is Good Friend on the right. Choja is on the left. Choja, very good Zerg actually from this time period. Not one of the most famous Zergs, but he was actually very, very strong Zerg player at this time. Good Friend was not top level, but he was one of the top Terran players of this time period as well. So this is going to be a solid... This whole group is actually really solid. Really solid. So this is going to be another good game, I think. Oh, how's Idaho doing? Telvolka asked. It's good. It's good. It's very cold here. Very cold here. It's been an average of a little below freezing. So it's usually between 25 and 40 Fahrenheit, which is like minus 3 to +2 Celsius if you're not into the whole, if you're into the whole metric thing. So it's very cold here, which makes it a little bit difficult to like get out and like, exercise and stuff. But I've been making do. It's still been good times though. I mean, it's nice. Got a little snow last week. That was fun. Fun to see some snow on the ground. It's supposed to be raining today, but I didn't see it raining earlier. It might be raining right now, actually. It's hard to see outside right now. Look at that! I think the sign is something... It says Star League winner, I think, is what it says, or something like that, on the little sign that that character was saying. It's cute. Choja versus Good Friend. Did Choja... Let me check their TLPDs, see if Choja won anything at some point. I can pause these previews. I don't need to be downloading my own stream 3 times. Went to WSU in Pullman, Washington. Where's Pullman? Let me look that up. I think I might know that area. That rings a bell for some reason. It's near Moscow. Pullman. Okay, never mind. I don't know that area. I know the area of Washington, like kind of near Portland a little bit, but that's a completely different area there. Anyway, yeah, that's kind of a nice area, isn't it? Isn't that really pretty in that region? Go Cougs. Plenty of snow. Was it now here in Idaho? We've gotten some snow, and we're probably gonna get more, but it's like a little bit of snow, and then like it basically melts within a day, kind of thing. So it's not like heavy piling up snow. Oh, so this, and by the way, this is the weird map where, if you can see on the mini map, I'm going to point to it. There's 3 spawns, and it's kind of like this weird circular pattern where between these 2 spawns, there's a lot of dips where it goes down into a valley and up and down and up and down and up. And there's just bridges around the other way, so that might change things. That there's ramps between the 2 players right now, but there's also like a back route. You can go around the back way to the enemy base as well. So there's kind of 2 doors you have to worry about. Who's your favorite player? Nuke the Stars is Stork. There's another commentary person that likes Mr. Panda Bear Guy. Well, Panda Bear Guy, that was Tasteless came up with that term. He's the one that used to call the Ursulons Panda Bear Guy, I think, right? Or maybe it was something in StarCraft 2, Panda Bear Guys. I don't know if he's the one that liked them, but he's the one that came up with that term, I think. Stork is actually one of my favorite players as well. Stork was my favorite player for a while. I think now, I think by not even just now, but eventually my favorite player became Zero. I'm a big Zero fan. Zero, who now goes by Queen. Just because I like the underdog, and that's one of the reasons why I liked Stork initially. He was an underdog, one of the first MSLs that I ever watched. or one of the first Star Leagues I watched was the MSL where Stork was in the finals against Bisu and he was kind of an underdog. And that's one of the reasons I liked him. Zero became kind of an underdog as well, but I also liked that he was super creative. I love that he's just a genius player that does creative stuff. It's pretty cool. Okay, this squad of Marines is coming across the map, and it's interesting. He actually had to put a hatchery by the ramp so he could defend the ramp, because his main is just too wide open. And he's actually not even pushing with all his Marines, so that's gonna be fine. Hey Chungu, keep up the great commentary from Malaysia. That's awesome. It's always fun to hear about where people are from. Been watching you since Clazart, Diggity, and SC and Color SC days. Yeah, that was a long time ago, huh? You're a fan for a dozen years, it sounds like, because that was the old days. That was the old days. Guardian sucks. Ultras would have won the Go Rush the game. I think part of why he went for Guardians is because, I don't know if you know, that map was an air map where Sync's main base was up on an island. So he couldn't actually attack that with Ultralists unless he got drops, but drops are dangerous because Marines can kill Overlords too quickly. So that might have been the choice for the Guardians. Also, he just had the Mutalisks, and he had the Mutalisks because it was an air map, so it's a little bit easier transition to get the Greater Spire if he already has Mutas, you know. So that's probably why he did that. Did I watch Flash vs. Jaedong show matches at the remaster release? I actually have not watched those games, no. When Remastered came out, I actually kind of ignored it. I was just really busy. I think I had started a new job recently before that. So why wouldn't I watch those Legends again? Dude, when I left Korea 8 years ago, I was burnt out. I just basically had to turn my back on esports, and I almost didn't watch any StarCraft or anything else, any esports for several years, because I was just like, I kind of was over it, you know. Needed to move on with my life and do other things. And like I said, I had started a new job in 2017 as well, that I was trying to focus on. So just other stuff going on in life, basically, and I just didn't really pay attention. I got gifted a copy of Remastered, so I played it a little bit, but just a couple games, and then I didn't really mess with it very much. Except for, even over the whole years, I did play a number of... I always play versus AI with Diggity. So I've played over the years, but I haven't really followed StarCraft much, So I actually didn't even know that they did those show matches when Remastered came out. I didn't hear about them, otherwise I might have watched them. Should catch up with those replays. Made me feel like back in the days. Yeah, that's an epic match. I think I actually saw them on YouTube the other day. I was like looking for something else, and I found them, but I didn't watch through them. So yeah, that's a good idea. I should watch through those. I think they had English commentary for those, right? I think did Tasteosis do those games or something? Yeah. How many wins you got on this SC server? 0. Well, I mean, unless you're counting the versus AI games, I have some wins versus AI with Diggity. I don't really play ladder though, so I have some old accounts probably somewhere that I don't know the passwords for anymore, that I've got, you know. If you counted up all the games I've ever played, I probably got 400 or 500 wins or something like that over the 20 years, but none recently, none on my current account that I use on Battle.net. Correct. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I should probably watch those at some point, I guess. It's always good. I mean, Flash versus Jaedong, it's going to be good no matter what, you know. There's no way you can go wrong with those two playing against each other. It's just going to be such high-level stuff. Alright, what can these mutas do? Look at this. Pre-muta clumping, ladies and gentlemen. Unclumped mutas. It's just weird to watch it. It makes it feels like a mistake, but it just hadn't been invented yet. Favorite era of Brood War, when Jaedong was dominating from 2006 to 8. Jaedong Flash rivalry was still alive. Yeah, I think so too. And actually, Jaedong didn't really start dominating until I think a little later than that. 2006 was Savior's era. And Jaedong was good. Jaedong was good, but he wasn't dominating then. And then 2007 was Bisu. And I think like 2008-9 was the Flash Jaedong. In fact, what do they call it? They called the Lisok Tekbeng era or something like that, because it was like the names of Flash, Jaedong, Stork, and Bisu or Jongbi Fantasy. One of those other ones was included. But yeah, that was like 2008-9, I think, because that's when I started watching. Was in 2007. Oh, that Irradiate was disgusting. It's interesting how before Mutalisk clumping, the Irradiate was actually not as powerful, because part of the power of Irradiate is if your mutas are clumped up, the Irradiate hits all of them for the damage. But when they're spread out, you don't hit all of them with the Irradiate, so it's actually not as powerful of a spell in this era, which is kind of interesting. I think that's probably my favorite era too, though. The Flash Jaedong rivalry feels like it was the top, the top level that StarCraft had ever been, and that was when I was really into it and following every single game and everything. So I just feel like at home in that era. And oh my god, Good Friend just got wiped the F out. Wiped absolutely out. That is disgusting. It was a good attempt, but a little bit too late after those Sunkens, right? Actually, let me just double check here. I'm gonna go back to see what was going on here. Okay, the Sunkens were almost in. I'm trying to not go back too far. Okay, yeah, the Sunkens were not finished morphing when he attacks. And he just had too many units. And the medics, the medics were coming down at the behind, and they actually didn't heal the front line of Marines because they were up on the ramp still. He actually stimmed in before his medics had caught up. Oh, so that was actually kind of a bad move there, slightly bad move by Good Friend, because those Zerglings and Mutas wouldn't have been able to do as much damage if the medics were healing him. I think. I don't know if I don't think it would have made a big difference, but. What are the SC pros doing now? What is Bisu up to? Actually, a lot of them are still playing. In the last few years, we've had the ASL, the Afrika Star League, and they've actually been playing at the high level again. They also, a lot of them are streaming. Flash, I don't know if Flash streams. I'm sure he does, right? But Flash has a YouTube channel where he puts StarCraft games up. I know that. And he gets tons of views. Bisu is a streamer. Bisu regularly streams his StarCraft, and he gets, hundreds of viewers. Same with Zero. Zero is a streamer. I don't know if Stork is a streamer. He might be, but he might not stream a lot. But Stork is actually, he was a coach for a while. He stayed on Samsung, and he was a coach. He's stayed in StarCraft the whole time, and he played StarCraft 2 for a while, and he was a StarCraft 1 and 2 coach for Samsung Con. And now he's back to playing and coaching StarCraft 1, I believe. All right, well now he's gonna break it. He's going in for round 2. And, he's going to take out all the vessels. Oh my gosh. He couldn't break it the first time. He said, well, I'm going to gear up and try again. He's going to break it this time. Yeah, wow. Actually, well, here's the thing, though, is here come the Ultralisks. And I don't know what the upgrades are on the armor on the Ultralisks. They've got +1 weapons. It looks like the Ultras don't have any armor upgrades. Ultras can beat Marines pretty handily if they have the upgrades, but I don't think they have the upgrades, and he probably has +2 weapons on his Marines actually. So you saw the Ultras just turned around. They're like, "JK, peace out." Link me a good video? Sure, yeah. I don't know if I'm probably not gonna watch it right now, but I'll check it out later. The Epic Mitchell? What is the Epic Mitchell? Oh, that's Wolf and Tasteless. And this remastered event, okay. Who is the Epic Mitchell? Anyway, I'll take a look at it later. You got... So you got a good vid. They're hard to find. Oh, I didn't realize they're hard to find. I thought they were, I thought there was like a VOD of it on the Blizzard channel or something like that. So yeah, a lot of the best StarCraft pros are still playing StarCraft is the short answer. Some of them have gone into the military and then come back out again and gone back to playing. Hey Doso, how's it going? And some of the pros are still in them. Like Jaedong actually just went into the military like 3 months ago. So he is not playing right now. Oh my god, that is a lot of Ultras. Jesus. Cheeses crackers. That one Marine with the defense matrix in the front facing down like 6 Ultralisks. Can you imagine? He finally died, but can you imagine being that one Marine? You've got this like magic science shield around you, and there's like 6 building-sized monsters attacking you, and you're just sitting there with your one gun, firing away. Man, that guy needs a Medal of Bravery or something right there. Look at this medic wall. One Marine and the medic wall holding out against 5 Ultralisks on that ramp on the bridge. This is crazy. That's actually kind of insane. Oh man. I'm sorry, I gotta go back for a sec. That's just... Look at this. He loses the tank. Look, there's just... These Ultras are so strong. And he just has this one medic blocking the Ultras. He's spinning around in circles. And eventually he falls back. He doesn't even keep attacking. He pulls them back. Okay, that Marine needs a Medal of Honor too. That Marine needs an award for standing his ground on the bridge with 4 medics, and the medics need medals, of course, as well. But that's just it's kind of crazy. That's just so funny to think about that. This is like, imagine what that looks like if it was realistic. There's a guy with a gun, and 2 people in front of the guy with the gun, and you're this giant cow, and you're like, how do I get at the guy with the gun? There's a person in the way. I can't get past this person because they're not attacking me. That would just, I don't know, it's just a little kind of conceptually ridiculous. But medic walls are a thing. Medic walls are a strategic choice as well. Favorite RTS aside from StarCraft? I don't know. I haven't played very many RTSs. I played a lot of. I played a fair amount of Age of Empires back in the day, like Age of Empires 2 or something like that. Can I say Warcraft 2? I remember Warcraft 2. I haven't played it in like 25 years, but Warcraft 2 was like the first RTS I played, and I remember really enjoying it a lot. So I don't know if that counts. Having yeah, I mean, Age of Empires is like a classic. Like everyone's played it, right? But it's not actually that great of an RTS, and I've never played it even I've never even played it competitively. Age of Empires, I've never I don't think I've ever played a single game versus another player. I've only played like versus computers and stuff like that. But it was fun to play that. So, Merry Hanukkah to you as well, Rise. We're just talking about some of the old days. Rise is another person who I had a little bit of an interview with on one of my live broadcasts a few months ago. That was good times. Were you visited by Hanukkah Harry? Who's Hanukkah Harry? I'm not familiar with that. I don't even know if that's if you're just making stuff up or if that's actually like a thing. Like some kind of a meme that I haven't heard of. I thought Choja had this game, by the way, but it looks like he's falling apart because he keeps losing that base. He's got ultras, but he just like is not finishing things off. Your Jewish friends talked about Hanukkah Harry. I mean, my family is Jewish, so I grew up celebrating Hanukkah, but I'm not familiar with Hanukkah Harry. Is that like Santa Claus, basically, but it's Hanukkah? Yeah, I guess he didn't visit. It's Vol! What's up, Vol? Merry StarCraft to you as well, sir. Good to see ya. I peeped that you were playing some more Tabletop Simulator in the last week. I hope your games went well and that you were winning the games. Vol, you recognize that name? Are you trolling, Rise? Uh-oh. Speaking of trolling, Zerg Troll. Thank you for the bit. Thank you for the cheer. Merry StarCraft to you as well, Zerg Troll. It's a good name. It's a good name, Zerg Troll. It doesn't show cheers in my chat for some reason. In the what's going on over here? Is he raiding? Why is he raiding Overlords? Are they full of units? Is he loading units into the irradiated Overlords? No. That was weird. StarCraft. Great point, Inkjet Printer. In case you're not trolling, Rise, Vol used to cast with us as well back then. I don't know if you casted with him. I guess maybe you didn't, but I used to cast with Vol sometimes. And of course, Vol did his own casting too. And he does live tabletop war game stuff now. Although, you know, he's doing it online as well through Tabletop Simulator. Alright, is this where he comes back? Is this where Choja comes back with the drops? No, it's not, because this is going to completely destroy his main base. Never mind. Oh, is it though? Is it? That's a lot of Ultralisks! Oh my god, that is so many Ultralisks and Cracklings! I think Choja's going to do it after all. Holy crap, he's actually going to defend this. Oh my gosh. I think Choja did it. This game has been insane. Because Choja's dropping in the natural and attacking the extra base, like the 4th or whatever at the same time. Freaking irradiated Ultralisk killing SCVs over here. Marines are just ignoring it. They're like, ah, let's just let it happen. I feel like I may have towards the end of my tenure. Okay. Have a nice holiday. Enjoy your YouTube, and I enjoy your YouTube and hope you can go on to the Pylon Show again soon. Yeah, that'd be cool. I'm not really doing anything like that's a big deal these days, though. So, like when I went on the Pylon Show before, it was like a retro day, because Diggity and I are, you know, some of the oldest Blue War casters. But I think the Pylon Show talks about a lot more modern stuff, what's going on nowadays, including StarCraft 2, and I don't do any StarCraft 2 stuff, so. Hey, we got Hearn in the house. How are you doing? Yeah, no Swarm is interesting. I would have expected Defilers at this point. This is the second time, actually. Zerg versus Terran we saw the other day was similar, where I expected... Oh, that was it was the replay I cast, right? Oh, maybe that hasn't gone up yet. Never mind. Well, I cast a replay the other day that's going to be going on StarCast TV eventually. It was a ZVT where the Zerg player did this, where they just went Ultralisks, just mass Ultras, and they didn't spend any gas on Defilers. And I was like, why are you not spending gas on Defilers? Because, you know, Ultras are crazy. Cracklings are crazy, but one swarm makes them so much crazier. I guess, you know, a decent Terran can, like, maneuver out of the swarms. So maybe if you're not doing lurkers, then it's not as good. Because you have to cast too many swarms to chase the Terran army. That might be why. But I feel like this late into the game, Defiler tech would be handy. Oh, is that another drop? Are they mining at all? So let's see. Choja has 2 bases mining, it looks like. And this one was mining. Imagine making your base right outside of the Terran natural expansion, where they can shell you from within their own main. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, StarCast TV is a YouTube channel. And oh, this might be it though, because these are his only mining bases on the bottom left, and those ultras are just gonna kill everything. So he loses 1 base, but this counterattack I think is gonna end it. I think. Yeah, those SCVs are toast. Oh, maybe. Actually, maybe not. He's falling back with the ultras. Oh no, all the vessels. Look at that beautiful splitting. He just got half the vessels, but there's still like 5 vessels. He can irradiate every single Ultralisk. And if they stand next to each other, actually, do they? Yes, I think they do. If they're standing next to each other, I think they double damage themselves with the irradiates. He killed all of them with irradiates and marines. That's actually disgusting. This game has been so back and forth. It's been so hard to tell who's gonna win. It's kind of insane. But I feel like with that last attack failing, Choja does not have the money to refill. Look at the minimap. He doesn't have any bases anywhere. He's not mining. He's trying to take new bases at the south, but they're about to get killed off. So I think Good Friend is gonna take this game. Yeah, radiate damage tax. That's what I thought. That's why you do an eraser trick with a couple different vessels. Yeah, he's just gonna lose that base as well. Yeah, Good Friend has this, I think. Yeah, StarCraft TV is a YouTube channel where basically it's a Korean guy who speaks some English. I don't know how his connection has this connection, but he has connections to the Korean pro gamers, and so he actually pays the Koreans out of his pocket basically to do show matches and give him the replays. And then he has a whole team of different casters that he gives the replays to do casting to put on the channel. So it's actually really cool because he has English casters, Spanish casters. I think there might even be casters from other languages as well. And it's a whole different team. So he's puts up games pretty frequently because he's got stuff from different people. I've only given him a few games. He's like a lot of casters because I've given him several games. He's only actually put 1 up so far, but I've given him three more already. Oh no! That's pretty. I mean, I think Good Friend is too far ahead. It doesn't matter. He lost 2 dropships full of medic marines, but that would have been pretty brutal. Stacks in a way that the irradiate does damage to the unit that is cast on, and it does damage to anything within a radius of that unit. So if you have the irradiate on you and you have the radius of another irradiate, those stack. Casting irradiate on the same unit twice will not do double damage though. So, or if you don't have any irradiated on you and there's just 2 units next to you that are both irradiated, both the damages will stack. All right, this is it. This is the last stand. If he loses this, the Zerg's out. Yeah, there's too much stuff there. Too many dudes and chicks. Too much bio. Tasteless has funny emojis. All the Pepe emojis are funny. Yeah, now he's lost the hive. He's gonna lose all this. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how. I guess he's still mining a little bit technically. It looks like his Ultraless Cavern isn't there, so he's not gonna lose that. Cracklings are super efficient, but I mean, all you have to do is look at the minimap. And see, this would be his way back into the game, would be to do drops, but Good Friend's wised up to it. Good Friend he's too smart, and he's wised up to it, and he's protecting against drops by keeping some units back. He's so far ahead he can do that. So, what? How are you doing, by the way, Rise? Happy whatever holiday you celebrate. Whether you were visited by Hanukkah, what was it, Hanukkah Harry, or Santa Claus, or whomever visits you. Doing well. Kids got spoiled like whoa. Nice. That's good. That's good. What OSL is this game from? It's from the IOPS OSL, which is the beginning of 2005, basically. It's the one immediately following the Ever OSL. Why does Restream? It's so silly. You've gotten 100 messages with your chat. Thanks, Restream. Good to know. Yeah, Choja needs to get out of the game. This is over. It's very, very over. Oh, here we're gonna see it right now. See, he's gonna irradiate. Oh, he only did one? Usually they do the eraser with two, where they irradiate one vessel irradiates the other, and the other irradiates the first one. So then they get the two vessels moving together with both irradiates, and then they do both damages to like drones and whatever's underneath them, basically. So that's. Oh my god, he's gonna clean this up. I wish he hadn't cleaned it up. It's amazing they did clean it up. Look at these Zerglings. These medics are like going crazy trying to heal each other. They're having a little dance party. Look at that. Hold on. Let's watch. I want to watch this medic dance party again. All the Marines die, and then the medics are just like struggling to figure out who to heal around in circles when there's Zerglings hitting them, but they're also not dying because there's so many medics that they're healing each other like crazy. Anyway. Fantasy GG timing. That's true. Oh, man. Okay, Stream Elements is messed up too. It's supposed to be my bot saying things. I need to upgrade my stream. All right, now he's gonna die. Is he? Yeah, is he really gonna make him eliminate him? Yes. Yeah, Restream is trying to embarrass me in front of my friends. All right. Oh, that's pretty manner. Goes over and gives him a handshake. That's weird because he won. That's Good Friend. Good Friend actually won that. So maybe he thought he was being BM by staying in the game, and so he wanted to like show that he was being manner by going back and like giving him a handshake at the end there. Definitely not Firebat Hero style. A handshake without a mask. What is wrong with them? It's like they're living in 2005. All right, let's move on to the next game. So this is that was game 2 of the Group D of the round of 16. So we'll move on to game 3. So the initial standings are Good Friend is 1-0 and Go Rush is 1-0. So now Good Friend versus Sync. So now actually this is a TVT, but if Good Friend wins this, he'll be 2-0, and Sync will be an 0-2. And so that basically means if Goodfriend wins this, he can clinch his way out of the group. Nara is so cool. He really is, man. He really is. Was he in the intro? Was Nara on the intro? Is Nara in this? Nara isn't in this Star League. Maybe he was in the round of 24. Let me check the duel tournament. No, Nara was not in the duel tournament either. Actually, I mean, it's true he was cool, but I'm just wondering why you said that. If he was in the intro or something like that. Nuclear Goo is not a fan of TVTA. I like TVT. Alright, I'm gonna snack on some chips. Actually, let me mute my mic when I'm opening it, because I know opening it's gonna be loud. But then you have to let me know if the crunching is loud. Alright, mic's back on. So let me know if it's like too distracting or just loud if I'm crunching on chips. It looked like him? Yeah, there's very few pixels. I mean, he might have been in it. Let's reach. Let's see. That's Uve. I don't know who those people are. That is... What's his name? That's Uve again. Boxer in yellow. Nada. That's Max. Who is that? Is that Boxer again? I think it's Boxer. Reach. Yeah. Anyway. Let's jump ahead a little bit on this TVT. We don't need to see the intros for the TVT, the openings. Yellow is cool too. Yellow really is super cool, actually. He does have like a really cool, cool guy look to him. Some of the programmers look like nerds, but some of the programmers look super suave. I think Yellow is probably one of the most suave-looking programmers. Goodbye, 2004 and Monkey. Dude, that's gonna be my New Year's. I'm gonna say that when the clock strikes midnight at the end of this year. Goodbye, 2004 and Monkey. What does that mean? What does that mean? Goodbye, 2004 and Monkey. I mean, this game was played in January of 2005, so it's just in the new year, but still, why Monkey?
Goodbye 2004 and Monkey.
Thank you, Zergtroll. Well said. Well said. Thank you for the bits. Goodbye 2004 and Monkey. Oh! Nuclear Goo is actually a genius. It might have been the year of the monkey. Although the that's probably what it was. It was probably the year of the monkey. I don't know. I'm not sure when this game was played. 2004, the year of the monkey. Yeah. Okay. Nice. Okay. Well, now it suddenly makes sense. Suddenly makes sense. Although the Chinese New Year is usually not on January 1st. It's sometime in January, I believe. So maybe this was played in mid-January, right after the Chinese New Year. Year of the Rat this last year. It is fitting. It's Diggity. Diggity's in the chat, ladies and gentlemen.
변길 사모님 아카데미 건설 중입니다.
예, 굉장히 빠르게 아카데미.
Is that the real diggity?
예, 가겠다는 거죠. 초반부터 조이겠다는 거죠.
어린을 벌써 4기는 못 뽑았어요.
Yes, yes, it's the real diggity.
서로 아주 초반 승부를 한번 내보겠다는.
That's why I thought I made you like a
4기인 거 확인했습니다.
예, 마린 4기
a mod
머린 승부다라고 생각을
or a VIP or something in my channel. Maybe you have that turned off on your settings or something. The little badge. I could have sworn I had.
일단은 먹힐 것 같거든요.
예, 단순히 머린 4기 있는 거.
No.
머린들 저거 머린들 와봤자 내가 벌쳐 있으면
How do I?
막는데 어려움 없으니까.
I thought. How do you VIP someone?
벌초에다가 머리를 계속 먹고 있단 말이야. 그리고 좀 있다가
What?
메딕도 추가되고 스팀팩 갖춰져가지고 딱 한 타이밍 노리면 그 다들 기억하시지 않습니까? 지난 시즌의 결승전
There we go.
이묘 선수의 그 플레이
I
가능한
made diggity a mod.
원스타포트를 겨냥한 걸 준비를 해온 것 같습니다 지금.
네. SCB가 쓱 보기는 맞습니다만은 자 그러면 본 이후는
네, 레이스가 지금은
This channel has no VIPs.
네.
머린 메딕 벌처럼 이거 큰 힘 못 쓰죠.
상전 준비하고 있죠. 벌써 대열 가정.
How do I set to emote only chat?
그 지금은 이
I don't actually even know.
이병민 선수가 탱크를 뽑아봤자 시즈 모드는
I've got a button for it on my dashboard. I know you can do it too, I think, but
빨리 가야 돼요 대신에
I'm not sure.
타이밍 승부예요.
Twitch viewers are mostly German right now.
네.
Really?
이거 재밌어요. 네.
탱크가 지금 막걸입니다.
Isn't it like 4 in the morning in Germany?
탱크가 지금 막걸인데 아직 안 되고 있죠.
변경선 빨리 들어가야 되고. 자 아래또 내려서 방어지점 같이 하죠. 이병민.
Oh, right, because I've got the little
까지 나왔어요.
병기섭 선수는 지금
the little plug-in that shows where people are from.
상태에서 변경선 선수가 별다른 모드를 먹거든요. 낭패죠.
여기 상대편 못 들기 때문에.
Okay, we actually have a marine rush in TVT, by the way. This is kind of crazy. We've got tanks running for their lives. It's hard to tell even what's going on. The Wraith is attacking the Marines, though. The Marines are gonna die before they kill all the tanks. I actually don't even know who's whom. I forgot to check the beginning of the game. Which player was which. Wait, did you actually turn it on? Enabled emote only mode. See, now I don't actually know how to turn it back off. How do you turn it off? I don't know. I don't know how to turn it off. You better turn it off at some point. Alright, Rise got it. I mean, you can keep it on for a bit, but I was just like, crap, is it stuck forever now? One more lasted. I think there's a way that you can actually make it a channel point redemption too. Right? Oh, I don't have it turned on. I don't have it turned on, but you can do that at some point. Why does 80s mullet have baby mouse emotes? No idea. So, the Medic Marines attack did not work. And now, I think 12 o'clock Terran is dead. Because this counterattack is probably going to kill him. What can you do against tanks? Oh, you can hear the crunching? I'm sorry, I didn't know. Like I said, let me know if the crunching is too much. Baby Moses? Oh, Baby Moses is not Baby Mouse. I misread it. He does have a sweet Baby Moses emote. Okay, that's weird. What is that? Oh, that's a gypsy emote. Man,
우리나라 말도
I wish I could have emotes.
아무튼 다시 저 방어 병력을 다시 갖추고 있고요.
Frickin' Twitch.
중요한 것은 조금씩 한 템포 빠르게 이병민 선수가
No, I can't get emotes.
근데 지금 병민수 선수의 대처 나쁘지 않아요. 지금 바로바로 따라가고 있거든요.
Because I can't get subscribers. I need to have subscriptions set up in order to add emotes for subscriptions.
뒤를 타격을 하고 있습니다. 그런데 어떻게 될지.
Because you're bald.
그래도 앞마당 돌리면서
Yeah, no, Rise, I'm actually partner. Because I got partnered back in the old days before they had any standards for who could become a partner. So I have a partnered account, but my account is just so old that it's like not, it just doesn't work, so. Yeah.
얼마큼 살아날 수 있을지 지금
Alright, I gotta
더욱더 안정적으로 가면서 힘을 갖추고 있거든요.
double check who these people are.
두 선수의 선택인데 앞마당이 돌아가는
Alright.
시점에서
Good friend.
체제를 고집할 것이냐 아니면 팩토리를 늘릴 것이냐. 네, 이것이 차이가 생기는 거죠.
네, 자 위로 올라가죠. 이병민 쪽에서 병력이 먼저 진격을 합니다. 아직까지는 지상 병력 움직이는 막고만 있다가 처음으로 올라가거든요.
Trying to find out their names so I can figure out who they are. Okay, so good friend is
그냥 팩토리를 늘리는 겁니다.
Lee Byung-min. So, good friend is the orange Terran at 6 o'clock. Sync is the 12 o'clock Terran. So if orange wins the 6 o'clock Terran, good friend is basically advancing from this group, almost for sure. Very unlikely that he wouldn't. So this is, and it looks like he's going to win at this point, but it's hard to tell. Sham2 is a Brood War guy, works for Twitch. Yeah, and I actually asked him once, I think, and he said basically, like, it's not his department. He does video stuff, so he has, like, nothing to do with accounts or anything like that. Yeah. And I mean, I've what is that dropship doing? Guess I'll die. Well, if he kills all of the SCVs at the main, that would be pretty good. It looks like he's gonna kill a lot of them. Not all of them though. This is kind of a crazy game, actually. Yeah, and I've tweeted at Twitch support like 3 different times, and they just keep ignoring me. And I know it's just me because I've seen them respond to other people's tweets. So SCV pull was weird. Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know exactly why he did it that way. He's like didn't quite get his SCVs out of the way. I don't know. Confused about white tech into Wraith because I'm not seeing a lot of tanks. Maybe there were more tanks before Goliath production. I'm not sure. From what I've been seeing from these old games, Wraiths in 2004 were very popular in TVT, it seems. It seems like I see Wraiths in almost every TVT from these old days. Nowadays, it's not rare, but it's not very common. But in these 2004 games, I feel like I see Wraiths in almost every TVT. So he's putting the screws on right now. He's trying to go for the kill. I don't know if going for the kill is as good as going for the starve, though. See, that's what he needs to do. He needs to expand, get a third base, get some more production facilities, and just put a chokehold on Sync, I think. Man, poor Sync. Sync's like a solid player, but he just can't get ahead, you know? Mife made Tiramisu be back in a few pounds. Oh, Tiramisu is so good, actually. I'm jealous. I was actually just thinking, like, what snacks do I have right now that I could go eat? And I do have some, but I probably shouldn't be snacking anyway.
이 난관을 극복할 수 있는 길은 드랍십밖에 없습니다.
작게 움직이는 것은
결국 좀 더 시간을 주게 되면 9시 멀티가 돌아가게 됐을 경우 이제 팽팽하다는 관계가 차이가 나는 거죠.
드랍십 한 대 분량하고 두 대 분량은 꽤 차이가 나죠. 예, 아주
Oh, it's going for another drop.
저분은 상대편 잡습니다. 더 가져.
This time, the dropships actually protect themselves. Oh, and he's got wraiths to back up the tanks. That is actually interesting. Can he? Oh, he needs to siege up though. He needs to siege up, but he can't because there are so many SCVs there. You know what? But I'll take it. If I'm sync, I'll take it. If I lose my tanks, but I get to kill every single SCV, worth it.
이병민 선수가 야금야금 만회를 해가지고
Moved back with parents because of COVID and you missed home cooked meals. Nice. Yeah,
뚫고 들어갈 수 있는 병력을 무지는
I hear that.
9시가 이제 시간이 얼마 안 됐기 때문에
Do you not cook for yourself? I cook for myself a bit, but definitely like I'm not a great cook or anything like that. So
을 주류로 해서
good food is nice to have.
갈 때 스타포트를 만들면서 레이스 체제로 가는
Sometimes I make good stuff.
이병민 선수. 근데 그런 고민은 좀 될 것 같아요.
Although I like to make a ton of food. Big pile of stuff. And then like keep it in the fridge and eat it over the course of a week. So the first day, it tastes home cooked. And sometimes it's good. But after that, it's just decent because it's like reheated, you know? I miss people doing my laundry. I mean, living at home was chill. Yeah. Dude, I actually, right now I'm house sitting, right? And I haven't actually lived in a house in several years. I've been living in apartments. And so just having a clothes washing machine in the house is actually such a big deal. It's actually so nice. I don't have to go out of the building. I don't have to go down the street to a laundromat. I don't have to find $1.50 to put in the machine every single time. I just get to do my laundry. It's so easy that I actually do not care that no one is doing it for me. It just feels like a robot's doing it for me. So that's what I'm stoked about. And a dishwasher? I've got a dishwasher here too. Oh my god, I've been hand washing dishes for years and I hate it. And now I just put things in this machine and I hit a button and it freaking washes my dishes for me. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Hey, Debafort, thank you very much for stopping by. Merry Christmas to you as well. Yours is in the basement, going down is a struggle. Yeah, I mean, but at least it's in the building, right? You don't actually have to go outside to another building. Is he playing without mini-map terrain on? He's playing without mini-map terrain? That's kind of... What? I only do that when I hit it by accident and I can't figure out what button turns the mini-map terrain back on. That's really weird. That was really weird to see, actually. Sync is somehow holding on here. Like, this is kind of crazy. He's kind of doing all these side attacks. Sync has now actually managed to get a third base up. And he's managed to kill a lot of good friends SCVs. Yeah, this is I thought Sync was dead. I thought it was just a matter of time for good friend to just kind of slowly constrict around him and take him out, you know, but Sync is putting up a fight here. I'm no expert, but I've never seen these kind of tank drops before. I think it's usually more common to see like vulture drops or Goliath drops rather than tank drops, but it's not. It's not. It's probably more of a early 2000s thing as well to do the tank drops. I think probably more common. Now this is probably going to be tanks and Goliaths is what I'm thinking. And that could be deadly because I don't think good friend has anything back here. Oh, did he see it? Did he see it? Is he gonna go in?
그런데 태웠죠 이병민도.
네, 이병민 선수 지금 이끌.
Hey, Agent Rifle, Merry Christmas to you as well.
좋았던 분위기가
Hope you're having a good holiday.
상대 병민선 선수의 어떤 드랍시 플레이에 많이 이끌려 다녔거든요.
예, 그렇죠.
I'm gonna be right back. I don't have snacks, but I have something almost as good as snacks.
유리한 상황이라고 할지라도 자원이라든지 이런 몇 가지 이 면에 있어서 유리하다고 하더라도 주도권을 뺏겨 끌려다니면 안 돼요.
네. 지금 그 돌아가는 기지수는 변기수에 많습니다. 한 군데도 많아요. 이곳이기 때문에.
이제는 오히려 시간을 줘서는 병민선 선수가 유리해지기 때문에 지금이
Root beer.
선수의 기회입니다.
네. 근데 변기 서버는
Henry Weinhardt's root beer. The good stuff.
대기 현재 운영 중.
예, 조금 전에 그 두 개의 드랍십에 이제 탱크하고 뭐 이런 거 들어있었던 병력.
Sugary.
달리는데요. 대기만 드랍십이죠.
그래요, 예.
It's casual.
지금
It's good stuff.
이병민 선수는
자, 이병민이 먼저.
Like I said, actually, I do have some snacks, but I just kind of,
정면이 위험합니다.
I just had dinner recently. I don't want
정면이 위험해요.
to stuff myself too much with snacks.
다섯 개 정도가 상대편의 가장 뒤에 진짜
From I shouldn't be eating a snack to let me grab a snack in 10 minutes. Yeah. I mean, those two sentences go hand in hand all the time. So,
쪽에 진을 치고 있던
man, Sync, what is Good Friend doing? Like, what actually is Good Friend doing? Like, okay, this is what he's doing. He's attacking up the middle with a huge force. So Good Friend is playing the standard game with the tank lines in the middle of the map and advancing and attacking and advancing. And Sync is playing the guerrilla warfare game. So basically, Sync is the Americans in the Revolutionary War, and Good Friend is the British.
최선을 다해야 되는데 이병민 지금 자원이 없거든요.
근데 중요한 건 이병민 선수가 저 위치에 자리를 잡으면 아무런 도움이 안 됩니다.
더 들어가야죠. 좀 더 들어가서.
중시 쪽 자원 채취하는 데는
Cold pressed apple juice, nice. I didn't get it together in time because I ended up talking with a friend on the phone today, but I was gonna actually heat up. I have some apple cider. I was gonna warm it up and put some cinnamon in it. Would have been nice, but ended up getting. I just wanted to start streaming, get the stream going, eat some dinner. So I didn't bother with it this time. But maybe on another day I'll do that. But I mean this. So this is
마지막 병력은 정말 많은데 이병민 선수가.
지금 여기 그
11시 멀티.
So there's 180 calories in this root beer, right? The snacks I have some like chocolate covered nuts or something like that, where there's 180 calories in 3 bites. So like this is a limited amount, so this is better than the snacks because like if I get the snacks, I'll just be like, oh, I'll just have one more, I'll just have one more, I'll just have one more, I'll just have one more. Nope. Just got an alert, and as usual, my alerts are hidden somewhere. I have to figure out where that is so I can thank you to whoever
아무리 유리해도
gave me the
병력 하나만을 갖고 있으면 병력은 어쨌거나
Let's see here.
그냥 줄게 돼 있습니다. 네, 지속적으로
Oh, Zergtrol, thank you very much again. I appreciate the donation. Much appreciated. In addition to the bits on top of it. Very cool. And thank you for the message.
또이 병력의 이병민
Keep on loving StarCraft. You know, I just can't get away from it. StarCraft is it's in my veins.
변기수의 아웃 쪽에 나가야 될 병력들은 아직까지 일부는 배치돼 있고요.
I need to figure out a better way of making sure I see alerts though. Definitely don't want a calorie count on that pound of lobster and all the butter I dipped it in would be. Yeah. I mean, sometimes when you're having a holiday dinner, you know, you can't really count calories, right? Look at these SCVs running into their deaths. That is a little bit sad. Is Sync really gonna win this? I think he is. Good Friend got pushed back, but Good Friend had that big push, and now it's kind of halted. He's still pushing in, but it's not really going for a killing blow here. Well, I guess he still is pushing into Sync's base though. So maybe if he can push in and start killing Sync's factories. Oh, he's shelling the island expansion too, actually. That's pretty big. The Sync strikes back, going for the island base of Good Friend. Calories don't actually stick during the holidays. I think they may even stick more during the holidays. Hey, Starcast! Someone I was just mentioning you earlier, your channel. Starcast TV. Do you do any streaming at all, or is it just the YouTube channel?
근데 지금 중요한 거는 한시 쪽 멀티를 지금 뭘 모르고 있어요. 현재도 못 해주고 있고요.
Just the YouTube channel. Nice.
지금 스캔을 사용했죠.
예, 이런 경기가
Yeah. Sometimes I do casting, but we're just doing a chill hangout, watching some games, drinking some root beer.
맵을 반으로 가르고 싸움은
Just a nice little
내기의 드랍십은 승부수고
nice little chill time, watching some StarCraft with some other fans.
집중하고 있죠. 대각선으로. 중앙 쪽으로 방향 바꿉니까?
All right, so there you go. So yeah, he's gonna put up some more of my videos that I gave him this week. It looks like. Sounds good.
드랍십 가서 시야 확보하고 이게 좀 보니까
Yeah, he has a new channel now.
예.
Yeah, go ahead and link it. Yeah, there you go. Cool.
병력 꼭 찾는 줄 화면 나오지 않습니다만
고민이에요. 제가 약간 본질을 칠 것인지 한시 멀티를 발견했고 이병민 선수도
결국 조금씩
Okay, this is it. I think this is the battle. I think this determines the winner right here. And Sync has been forced back. Yeah, I think he's finally gonna do well. Let's see, where are they mining? They're only mining at one base each now, I think. No, Sync has 2 bases. Sync has 2 bases actually. Yeah, there's one, and he has one on the left side of the map as well. But he's gonna lose this one. So it's gonna be 1 base from 1 base. And there we go, there's the GG. Sync loses, finally. Oh my god. What a freaking old game. I mean, not old game, long game. Crazy game. I really had no idea who was winning that game for most of it. That was kind of like insane that like they just kept going back and forth, and Sync kept doing crazy drops and stuff all over the place to kind of fight back in a scrappy way. And Good Friend was just like, well, I'm just gonna push through the middle. All right. Let's see. Yes, I don't know who you're asking, Zerg Troll, but Starcast does have a Patreon, and I have Ko-Fi, which is basically kind of like Patreon, except it's basically the same thing. So if you want, you can sub to me on Ko-Fi as well if you want. But or unless was that a recurring donation you gave me on Ko-Fi? If it was, then I missed that fact. Anyway, all right, let's get into. What game is this? Sync versus Choja. We got some more TVZ. Now this is interesting because Sync is basically out of this. He's 0-2 right now, so even if he wins, it's unlikely he'll advance. But yeah. Yeah. Ko-Fi does take a very small fee. But it's not a percentage base, it's just one fee of like $5 a month, basically. They don't take a percentage. Patreon actually takes the largest percentage of any of those services. So that's one of the reasons why I didn't go with them, because they take like 8%, and then on top of that there's also a transfer fee of 5% through PayPal. And then if you get certain services on Patreon, they take 12% instead of 8%. It's actually really significant difference. Pronounced coffee? I don't know. Maybe it is. But I don't drink coffee, so for me it's Ko-Fi. I mean, that's why it's called Ko-Fi, because the idea is that you're buying a coffee for someone, right? But you can change it. So I have mine set to sandwiches instead of coffees because I don't drink coffee, but I eat sandwiches.
상대 전적에서도 서로가 서로를 잘할 때 강점이 있는 거죠.
The potential to create a tournament. Ooh.
잘한다는 거고.
Starcast tournament will be interesting.
거기에다가 이 네오기오틴 저그가 3회처리
Make it say Rubier? What?
특유의
Oh, yeah, Rubier.
할수 있는 가능성이 크다는 거고 조영호 선수가 박성준 선수에게 목표를 패배할 때 박성준 선수의 불꽃테란을 패배했거든요.
네.
예, 그런 점 생각해 보면 경기서 선수가 한 번 정도 그
You failed to
불꽃테란의
achieve victory.
가능성을, 예, 보여줄 수도 있을 것 같습니다.
먼저 불꽃입니다. 선기섭.
예, 뭐 이렇게
Okay, so Sync versus Choja. We actually get some more TVZ. This whole group is just tons of TVZ. There's 2 Zergs and 2 Terrans.
예, 다
So
끝이긴 하죠.
the last game of the series is actually the ZVZ.
조영호 선수 중이고 조영호 아래쪽으로 들어온 거는
And then we just had a TVT, but the others are all 4 Terran versus Zerg games. Lots of TVZ. This whole tournament actually, there's
입구 쪽에다가
8 Zergs, 7 Terrans, and 1 Protoss in the round of 16. So this is like massive Zerg versus Terran tournament basically. 1 Protoss, and guess what? You got eliminated. So there's gonna be 0 Protoss players in the quarterfinals up.
테란으로 유명하고 이런 선수다 보니까 글쎄요. 일단은 입구 쪽에다가 짓죠. 예, 예.
아 그러네요. 큰 입구 쪽에 해처리
I feel like I missed a question or something like that.
병기수는 불꽃은 진짜 계산 안
예,
되거든요.
예. 이게 이런 이
I'm just double checking the chat.
이후에 어떤 테란의 한방 러시나 조이 같은 거를
Maybe not.
상대하기 위해서는 일단 뭐 이렇게 좀 콜로니라도 좀 미리 지어놓은 상태에서 한꺼번에
Anyway.
성공 콜로니로 다다다닥 바꾸는
But
이런 식의 플레이를 저그들이 많이 하지 않습니까?
yeah, this is my Christmas dessert though, since I'm not traveling for Christmas. Although I'm isolating right now, so that I can go like the recommended amount of time without any contact with other human beings.
지금 수리하고 있죠. 또
Oh, he got the SCV on the second barracks. It's actually pretty clutch. He's gonna escape with the drone too. Off to a good start. So I'm isolating right now, so I'm gonna be at 11 or 12 days of isolation, I think, which the CDC recommends 10. And I'm gonna go. They used to recommend 14, but I've had very little contact. So anyway, I'm gonna go visit some family next week, I think, and then I'll probably have a nice dinner with them.
해처리 짓고 성콜을 많이 짓고 테란이 강력하게 조이기를 한다고 해서 성큰 콜론이 다 깨지고 그리고 또이
Let's see, Choja lost his first game, so if he loses to Sync,
이렇게 생각을 하는 게 조용하거든요.
저그가 만약에 그 바로 앞마당을 가져간다는 측면은 테크트리 유닛으로
recommend isolate, avoid Kovas. It's not fun. Yeah, man. Wait, was it you, Blackhand, that was saying that you were on quarantine because you had it? I don't remember who said that earlier. If it was you or it was the other guy.
불꽃의 능력, 원조 불꽃이기 때문에 8개까지 뚫는 건 일단 제가 눈으로 확인했고요.
네. 저희 모두를 참
Yeah.
하게 만들었어요 그때.
Well, I mean, like I said before, I'm glad that you didn't get it too badly or anything like that. But
근데 그때는
that's what people say. Like, even if they don't get like the bad
같은 데서 좀 로템
ICU dying kind of COVID, it's still
이렇게
painful and difficult. Whoa, what just happened? Oh. The VOD is only 5 minutes long, but it's not the end of the game, so that means I have an incomplete VOD. So, that's interesting. So let me see if I can find on YouTube or something like that. Let's see if we can find this video. What are we watching? This is Choja versus Sync, IOPS, OSL. Oh, this is the same VOD is on Nivake. Now, sometimes if you search for the Korean name, you can find it. So let me check the TLPD and I'll see if I can find what is this? Choja versus, I'm gonna copy paste the Korean name into YouTube and see if we can find it, because on GameNet has some of these actually. So so we got paste Choja's name, and then who are we doing? Sync, right? Yeah, sync. So we'll look for sync now. Paste his name. Byung-gil Sup. Let's see if we can find it here. Aha! See, here we go. This is it. OGN, IOPS, 2004. Sick. Okay, so this is probably gonna be the whole VOD. Alright. Let's skip into this a little bit.
멀티부터 먹고 시작을 하면은
There's this the killer drone.
까지 깨지더라도
Oh wait, I know it was a 5-minute VOD, so alright. Let's go from here.
예, 저는 분명히 못 뚫는다 그랬죠.
Cool.
그때는
Hooray for On GameNet having their own VODs up.
좀 로템 같은 데에서 좀 로템 한 6시 지역에 안
Can somebody fix Moletrap's Stream Elements bot?
이렇게
Yeah, you know, I've tried to fix it like 3 times and it's not working, so I have to
그 좁은 다리를
mess with it a little bit more again.
성큼밭을 뚫어야 되는 상황이었는데도 뚫은 게 참 그때는 예, 놀라운 거였죠.
그런 걸 생각.
The exact spot.
입구 쪽에 어떤 뭐 일단 개발도 있고.
Couple depots to block there.
인데요.
변길수 선수가 작정하면 충분히 그렇습니다.
I didn't even know until recently that and actually I'm just curious. When was this uploaded? 2016. So at some point On GameNet went through and actually uploaded a lot of their old VODs here to YouTube, which is kind of cool. But I didn't realize that. But they only have the names in Korean, so if you search for the IDs like I did, you can't find these old games. You have to know who the Koreans are and find them that way.
예, 베럭스 상태에서 경력을 꾸준히 뽑아내고 있는 변길섭.
그렇죠. 여기서 팩토리 타이밍이 곧 지금
Larva versus Flash on Crossing Field 2017. What?
아니면 팩토리아로 가리겠죠.
그렇죠. 예. 그리고 SCV가 한기 쫓아나간 걸 보니까
What are you referring to? Was that one of the recommended videos or something?
입구 쪽에서 농성을 하면서 거기다 팩토리를 짓겠다는 생각일 수도 있겠네요.
SBA 가면 뒤쪽에 추가로 5을 따라가거든요. 성크는 4개.
That's a lot of Sunkens. That's a beautiful spot too. So in this map, this is kind of weird map where
변길수 선수에게
I'll try and point it out on the mini map here. You have a choke point,
충분한 수가 있어갖고 다수의
and then there's like 2 different side areas that are not connected. So they're kind of like completely separate bases, but they do share one choke point. So we see it, Zergs often will build a hatchery at that choke point just to build defenses there. So they have to have 3 hatcheries. I mean, they start with 1, obviously. Firebats feel really out of place. Firebats, I feel like were also more common back in these old days.
그냥 팩토리의 지으로
저기에다 벙커를 짓겠습니까?
Hi, Sammy.
갔는데 팩토리를
Do I still follow the Brood War Pro scene, ASL, and such? A little bit. A little bit. Not like a ton, but like I watched most of the last ASL from like the quarterfinals up.
또 올라가죠.
I think I watched all of the last ASL from the quarterfinals up actually. So I wouldn't say I like follow it. Like I don't go and like make sure to watch every game live or anything like that. But what is he doing? Is he pulling drones because he's worried? Oh, he's making more Sunkens?
안전하게 성크 지어놓는 게 좋을 듯도 보이고.
He is really scared of this bust. With good reason. With good reason.
아 이거는 매직 때문에 안 돼요.
4, 5, 6. He's gonna have 7 Sunkens. Oh, here we go. He's stimming in. He's not focus firing the Sunkens. They're all going down in equal amounts. But there's no Zerglings or anything to add on to this. But he probably has Lurkers morphing in the background. This is all the buy time for the Lurkers, I think. The Firebats are actually still alive. I think he's focus firing the Marines with the Sunkens. And now the Zerglings pop out. There's the Lurkers. That's what it was for. All he needed to do was buy time for the Lurkers.
진짜 좋은 타이밍에 넣고 나왔네요 정말.
또 들어갑니까?
Wow, that was close. Sync really almost busted him, and I think he could have busted him if he'd focus fired more. All he had to do was move his Marines in and like pick them off one by one, right? Focus one sunken, another sunken, so that he's getting rid of the fire from each sunken more quickly. That was a bad move. Going in when the lurkers were already there. I mean, I guess it could have worked. But yeah, one sunken left at the end there when the lurkers finally morphed. And that's why he wasn't sending his units in, because he was just waiting for those lurkers. No, is such a thing as a pro scene in StarCraft, more like semi-pro. It definitely, it depends on how you count it, right? Like, the big teams are not around anymore. There's no pro teams anymore. But, like, is a pro player someone who is on a team and has a sponsor and that kind of thing, or is a pro player just someone who plays StarCraft only and that's their main job, right? Or, you know, so it depends on how you look at it. So for example, like some of the old pros are now, they're playing in the ASL. So like Zero has actually won a ton of money. He's won like probably what, like $50,000 or $60,000 in the last year, just from tournaments, because he won 2 ASLs in a row. He got first place prize in both, right? Flash it gets high up in the ASL. He gets money out of all the ASLs as well. And if you count it, they're also getting money from streaming. So I personally don't count streaming as, you know, pro StarCraft, because you don't have to be that high of level to be a streamer. I think that's pro streaming, but like some people might say, oh well, if they're streaming StarCraft and then they're playing in tournaments and that's how they're making all their money, then we might consider them a pro player. Alright, I forgot who we're watching again. Oops, wrong one. Oh, he actually killed those lurkers. That's a big deal. Alright, Sync versus Choja. That's right. So Choja is 0-1. He needs this win to have any chance in this. And he looks like he is going to win at this rate, but it's hard to say, because we've seen Terrans win from a bad position on this map before. But that's a lot of lurkers morphing. So Choja needs this win. Sync is basically out of it, even if he does win. Even if he does win, it's still bad for him, because then he's 1-2. Sync could be 1-2, and then Choja would be 0-2. So we'd have to hope that Good Friend beat Go Rush, and then Choja beat Go Rush to make a 1-2 tie at 3 ways, or something like that. Yeah, that would be the only way he could get out of this. If Sync wins, that would be the only scenario where he could get out of it. But he has to win first. Someone who qualifies for ASL would be a pro gamer. That's one way of looking at it, sure. Well, he actually has a lot of bio. Did he save his SCVs? I actually didn't see if he lost any SCVs there. But there's a lot of lurkers. Okay, he's gonna plant his tanks on top of the lurkers? Why did he do that? Why did he put his tanks on top? The science vessel is right there. He knew where the lurker was. Oh, that one gas mine is getting crowded. Is this lurker trap actually just gonna finish him off right now? He hasn't gotten those SCVs. If he moved a couple lurkers over and got those SCVs in a big splash, that would be it. I don't know why he put his tanks on top of those lurkers. That was ridiculous. Oh, he's gonna go in from the other side as well. Oh, these lings are just going in a line and just dying one by one, so that was not good. But the lurkers are still doing damage in the back. They're actually killing so many depots. He's gonna pick him back up again? Oh, is he gonna drop him again? Oh, he's got no comsat! Oh, if he drops behind the refinery, Oh, he's got a science vessel there. Never mind. I'm just crazy. Never mind.
이런 플레이 때문에 사실 조용호 선수
Denied mining time is insane. Yeah. Even though he wasn't killing those SCVs, none of them were mining minerals for like
막히고 조용호의 작전
minutes.
사실 이 경기를 변비서 선수가 이길 수 있는 길은 계속 버텨내면서 멀티 하나를 돌려야 돼요. 앞마당을 일단 문화를
It's sad StarCraft people have to stream.
어떤 낭만성 다들 이렇게 실패했을 경우에
I kind of agree with that. It would be nice if there was just enough of a scene and enough money in it that they didn't, that they could just be a player on a team and that would be it. And I think that raises the level of StarCraft 2 because
불꽃으로 성큼 뚫다가
if you're playing for a tournament, you don't want to be streaming it. You're focused on streaming instead of practicing. So we don't see the highest level play in the tournaments as a result, right? Okay, he's locking him in here. So now... Oh, the lurkers are in the supply line. Oh, in the middle line. Oh, he's going to get some of the SSCVs now. And he's going to get out again. Watch him irradiate the Overlord.
여기서 저기 머리 메딕 부대가 그냥
Oh,
자기
is he going to get out? Drop him out! Drop him out! Nope.
상황에서 러커들 일어나고 쑥쑥 와야죠 이제.
확실한 한 방은 디파일러까지 좀 기다려.
So yeah, it kind of draws down the level of play of people who are having to stream. But at the same time, though, I actually feel like streaming is a little bit better in a way because it's a more consistent income. Actually, if you're streaming for like Bisu and Zero are streaming for 1,000 or 2,000 people, and they're getting donations and subscriptions and stuff like that, they're actually making more money off of streaming than they were in the old days when they were doing well in tournaments, on average. You know, if you're winning every MSL and OSL, like you're making more money off that, obviously. But if you're only getting the round of 8 of OSLs and MSLs, you know, on average, then you're actually going to make more money off of streaming. It's more consistent. It's not like, oh, I lost in the round of 16, I don't have a salary for 3 months, or like I don't make money for 3 months. Whereas, you know, you can afford to do poorly in a tournament in this climate, and he's got 3 defilers over here, by the way, but he doesn't have... Okay, now he's got consumed. He consumes an Overlord. Alright, that one defiler gets a swarm on top of it. A little bit late on the swarms, though. He just lost so many lurkers. It's great that income from Twitch and YouTube enables players of a 20-year-old game to still earn money, right? Yeah, I think that's nice. Because I don't know if we could have a pro scene if we didn't have Twitch or streaming, right? Like if those players couldn't make enough money off of streaming to survive, they would have to get a real job, and they wouldn't be able to play in the tournaments, and we wouldn't have ASL. You know, or ASL wouldn't be at the same level. Because it would be something that, you know, people are playing for a few hours at night after their day job instead of playing it full time, you know? He plagues the barracks. Nice. I don't think one plague is enough to, I don't think one plague is enough to actually, like, get a building burning, but, I mean, he wasn't aiming for the barracks, he was aiming for the... There's the GG! Sync goes down. Poor Sync, man. He's a solid player, but he just keeps getting wrecked in these early stages. And look at Manor Choja, going over and giving him a handshake as well. What a Manor Bear. Yes, Doso, I get a couple sandwiches here and there as well. I'm not streaming for 1,000 people though, so I can't quite make a living off of it, unfortunately. But I do appreciate it. I do appreciate it. It does actually help pay for my groceries when people give me donations. Hello, Dosa. I just said I was looking at Happy Face. I don't know how to say your colon D. How's it going, Happy Face guy? Moltrap fighting. Okay, actually, whoa, what is next? Actually, oh no, that's not the next one. Now here's the thing. I'm looking at it. The next VOD I have is also only 9 minutes. Maybe it's the whole VOD. Good Friend versus Go Rush. Let's find out. This might be the whole thing. If not, we'll have to find it on YouTube again. But to answer your question, this is Group D. Here, I'll just show you my playlist here. So this is Group D, and we just watched Sync versus Choja, and now we're gonna watch Good Friend versus Go Rush. This is the next one. So that was Sync versus Choja. Sync was the Terran, Choja was the Zerg. VLC media player triggers me on Mac. The program constantly. Really? I always use VLC. I've never had it prompt me to use Premium, although, and I've used it on Mac as well, actually, unless it's like a new thing, because I haven't actually used my Mac for anything like that in at least a year. I probably haven't watched many videos on it for 2 or 3 years. No, I used to watch. Well, no, because I don't download videos. I used to just watch streaming and stuff like that. Did you download a virus? I don't know. But yeah, I use VLC all the time. I've never had it ask me to buy Premium. Good Friend is Terran.
경기 시작됐습니다. 자, 2연승. 8강 진출 유력한 이병민의 진영은 한시입니다.
Yeah, Good Friend is Terran.
혜택에 교류된 이병민.
Very strong Terran player from this time period.
자, 이에 맞서는
Not as strong as Uv or Boxer, but he's right below them, I think.
한가위 빼먹었습니다.
Sync and Good Friend are kind of like right under him as far as the strength of Terrans at this time.
92네요, 92. 예. 저도 이번 경기 저도 또 박태민 선수가 조용호 선수한테 또 이겨주면
Oh, the tank got 3D matrices on it? I didn't see that. That's cool.
참 여러 가지 정말 예 아주 예 시청.
You can get replay files from past gamers? I would love that. Yeah.
아, 이렇게 화면에 나오고 있는 대로 저런 데이터들을 갖고 있기 때문에
That would be awesome if I could get some old replay files.
저런 그 데이터가
I don't know if they work with remastered though. If they're from 2008, they might not work.
이병민은 한시입니다. 지금 박태민 선수의 지정이 나오고 있고
There's no VLC premium. You downloaded some malware. Oh no!
일단은
Zerg troll.
쿠베럭스 플레이가 아니에요.
Get some antivirus on your computer quick.
빠른 테크트리 플레이를 지금 보여주는
Oh man, that's kind of funny. I was like, I never heard of these. I just assumed there must have been something I didn't know about it.
가로로 정찰병 보내고 있고요.
Let me,
아까 전에 그
I can show you where I get my replays.
한 선수가 뭐 17명이다 뭐 이렇게 말씀드렸잖아요. 근데
So there's this thread on Team Liquid called Replays
오늘 너 승리
that has a lot of old replays from pro gamers, replay packs. So this is where I usually find replays that I do on my channel.
그냥
Bisu, Flash, Hero, Light.
조금 더 지켜보겠습니다.
There's a Jaedong replay pack in here as well, I think.
이맵에서 그냥 뭐 입구 쪽에다 일단
Shuttle,
그리고 나서
Killer, pretty good players. Anytime Backhoe,
이런 크림을
Haya.
확보하면서 이제 멀티를 먼저 먹는 게 보통이긴 한데 지금처럼 그이
Yeah, Jaedong, 2010 Jaedong replay pack. So this is usually where I find my replays.
무난한 형태로 진행하고 있다고 보면 맞고요.
These are all 2010, well, 2010 to 15 usually.
테란이 뭐 초반 타이밍 러시를 실패했을 경우 예전에 거의 대부분이 한방 러시를 준비했거든요.
But I don't know if I'm not sure if 2008 replays would work.
멀티 가져갑니다. 그러니까
But if they would, then that would be great to have some
만물양전을 한다는 거죠. 그런 점에서 보면
official games that are leaked would be good. I don't know where to find those.
한방을 준비하는 것보다는 오히려 확장 기지를 빨리 가져가는
Max don't get viruses. It's usually true, Doso. It's usually true.
예, 이병민 선수도
But these days, Windows don't get
일단 멀티
viruses that much either. A lot of the stupid ways that people used to have viruses are not a thing anymore.
정말 되게 아슬아슬했어요.
Um,
예, 저런 거는
But you just have to be smart about what you open, right? Just make sure you don't open anything from a shady source. So maybe Zerg Troll was downloading some shady programs.
위치가 좀 마음에 안 들었던
Post a link in the chat for the replays. Yeah,
그래도 아깝네요 지금은.
I will do that.
일단은 S15 정찰로 이병민 선수는 뭐
There's the replays.
일단 파악을 했고요.
You open everything.
타이밍은 일단 노려볼 수 있겠네요. 아카데미 건설.
Flash versus Stork. No, this This is only practice games. Only practice games, except
이거는 좀 너.
a couple tournaments. Only
병력들이 꾸준히 모이고
STX Masters, IEF. Those are tournament games. All these other ones are practice games.
병력들 앞으로 전진 배치시키죠.
이거는 이 SCB의 방해로 인해서 늦어진
Cool. That'd be great, Starcast. I would appreciate that. It's always good to have fun games for from the old times.
영향을 미쳤기 때문에
It's much better than VODs because these are low quality VODs, you know?
압박을 조금
360p only.
병력들이 계속 아래쪽 내려가고 있어요. 현재는 저글링밖에 막을 수 있는 방법이 없습니다. 썸은
바로 그 점 때문에 일단 그 저글링을 좀 생산하고 있는데
방금 들어갔죠? 자 이거야 그러면
Uh-oh.
이병이 들어갈까요?
Uh-oh. Is he about to die right now?
그렇지만 파이어벳이 없으면 안 돼요.
Is Gorush just about to, like, just straight up die to a quick rush because he doesn't have Sunkens?
할 수 있기 때문에 파이어벳이 갖고
He is! He's just dead! Well, let's see if these Zerglings can say anything about it. Hey, he scares him back with the Zerglings.
썸이 반응하지 못할 때 파이어맨 왔어요.
The one Firebat, though, says, Zerglings, bring it. Oh, no. 2 Firebats now. Oh, gosh. Gorush is just gonna die.
거의 절망적입니다.
So Good Friend is gonna go 3-0 in the group. I mean, I guess it's not over yet, but I don't know how you come back from this.
왜냐 파이어벳이 너무 많이 살아남았어요.
다시 한번 방어단을 펼칠 수 있습니까? 박태민 이렇게 한 번에 무너지면 어떡합니까? 나한테 절반대 집에 떨어져요 박태민.
아 위기입니다.
거의 병력의 소모가 없는
Yeah, he's dead. He made a colony in his main, but there's nothing to... Yeah, it's just over.
다시 찍는 그런 플레이를 보여준다는 건
Well, yeah, no worries, Starcast, if you, or Cruiser, right? No worries if you can't find it, but that would be cool to find old games. I wanted to try and ask on GameNet to see if I could ask them for old replay files, but I don't know, I don't have anyone I could talk to it on GameNet anymore. I don't know anyone that works there. So,
경기의 패배는 박태민 선수 심리적으로
because if on GameNet is closing down, then maybe they would want to
두 선수에게 지금
give away some of the replays now, or maybe sell the replays. I'm not sure,
영향 미칩니다.
뭐 뒤를 치려고 병력이 온다 하더라도 커버 안
but probably not, because NBC Game closed down and they didn't give away their replays.
지금은 뭐 이병민 선수가 그냥 테크트리에 올리고 있는데 저거는
Well, I think Gorush is dead.
지지를 받아내기 위해
I'm not sure why he's still in the game here. He lost his main base.
답이 없어요.
Well, he didn't lose the whole base, but he lost everything in it. Look at that.
그냥 들어가도 되거든요. 다시 앞마당도.
Yeah, you can see on his face he's not happy about this. Gorush, by the way, super nice guy. I really like Gorush. He was a... I worked with him on GameNet,
추가 이후에 테란이 어느 맵에서나 타이밍을
and he was a really nice guy. He helped me out. He speaks a little English, and so I was able to talk to Gorush.
느낌이 듭니다.
그러나 뭐 이병민 선수도 정말로 판단이 좋았던 거죠.
Pak Tae-min.
진짜 이병민 선수
And I ended up seeing him at a party, a Twitch party in LA as well. And I talked to him there, and he was really nice. He introduced me to Stork. I got to talk to Stork. GG.
이병민 3점으로
Oh no. So now Gorush is 1-1. He's got 1 win and 1 loss. Right? Because he beat Sync, and now he lost to Good Friend. So now Choja is also 1-1. So this last game is Choja versus Gorush, and whoever wins advances. So this last game is the deciding game for this group. Whoever wins it advances, whoever loses goes out. So this is going to determine who advances from the group. Look at that. They actually have both... Hold on a sec. Go back to that. Look at that. They actually have pretty good records in ZVZ. 16-8 is really good. 8-5 also very strong in ZVZ matches. So this is gonna be a solid game, I think. All right. It looks like most people have switched over to Twitch because of the delay, I think, on YouTube.
경기 시작했습니다. 먼저 박태민 선수의 시작입니다. 노란색 9시. 9시 박태민. 그리고 조용호 선수.
All right, so it looks like Go Rush is going to be the white Zerg on the left side of the map, and Choja is going to be the blue Zerg on the right side of the map. Did I say right twice? I'm not sure if I said that right. Oh, and he's actually yellow. So Go Rush is yellow. Choja is blue. But neither of them are yellow, the player. Oh, wait. Oh, hold on. We'll go back. Look at that. They've played each other twice before, and Go Rush has won both of the games. Now, those were a while ago, though. That was previous years, but that's just interesting that Go Rush has won both the games they played before. Good old ZVZ to end things out on this group. I guess after that, maybe we'll do some requests. We'll go back to our... find some fun games to watch. Oh, I gotta send someone a text back real quick.
그렇죠. 노란색 박태민도 그리고
무난하게 뭐 11드론 스포니프를 들어갈 것 같습니다.
현재 그룹 G의 1위는 3승에 이병민이고 2위를 대표하죠. 하네요.
뭐 이건 비슷하게 봐야죠.
그래도 좀 조영호 선수 좀 빠르죠. 박태민 선수는 그냥 전형적인 12드론이었다고 보고 조영호 선수는 9드론에서 오버로드를 뽑고 그리고 자원을 모아가지고 스포니프를 지은 거죠.
자, 위쪽에 12시 쪽에서 양 선수들이 오버로드 교차해서 아무것도 없다는 걸 봤어요. 현재 테란 8강 진출, 저그 셋 진출인데 저그 뭐 4-4로 막혔습니다만은 조진나게 한 명이 올라갈 것이냐, 변태진 한 명이 올라갈 것이냐, 이 경기예요.
일단은 또 그 박태민 선수 같은 경우 가스 채취보다는 일단 두 번째 처리를 먼저 들어가는 것 같죠. 이렇게 되면 역시 이 레캠에서의 비중은 저글링이 될 수밖에 없습니다. 그 저글링에 좀 무게를 둔 거죠.
그 진짜 예전에는 저그가 테란 상대로 하고 보스 상대로 하고 특히나 특히나 저그대 저그에 있어서는 더더욱 거의 진짜 정해진 게 있었거든요. 9드론이면 딱 이렇게 하는 게 있고.
Alright, let me see if I can
10드론이면 딱 이렇게
get back on track where these guys' builds are.
요즘은 무슨 9드론 한 다음에 오버로드 포크 드론
Hatchery in base for Choja.
스포닝풀을 돈 모아서 짓는다든지 뭐 이렇게 해가지고
Hatchery in base for
수가 엄청 많아졌어요.
Go Rush a little bit later.
야, 그래서 아주 뚫어지게.
Let me see if I can count drones, see where they are. We'll count for the lair as well.
지금 보면 조영호 선수가 스포니풀이 빨랐음에도 불구하고 상당히 그 조심스럽게 플레이를 하고 있죠. 공격적으로 하는 게 아니라
저거는 그냥 길만 막아놓고 있습니다.
일단 두 선수 모두 다 이 경기의 중요성을 좀 잘 알고 플레이하는 것 같죠.
지면 바로 떨어져요. 아주 그냥 간단합니다, 이 경우에는요.
Sorry, I have to get back to someone here. Rolling text real quick.
두 번째 점이 빠르다는 것은 저글링 중심으로 초반이 흘러간다는 점을 감안했을 때 박태민 선수가 좋습니다. 그러니까 어떤 점이 좋냐면 저글링으로 압도를 할 수 있죠. 상대를 묶어줄 수 있고.
일단 조영호 선수는 저글링에 발업이 되니까 먼저 달렸는데 글쎄요, 박태민 선수가 굳이 저글링들을 아래쪽에다가 잠깐 숨겨둔 거는 무슨
Uh-oh, someone has a lot of lings.
조영호 선수 병력 와 갔다가 다시 재집결.
여기저기 흩어져가지고 이렇게 보고 있는 거는 조영호 선수는 좀 저그대적으로
I missed the lair timings too, but it looks like Go Rush has a lot more lings, but he's not using them. He's actually not like going on the offensive with them, even though Choja was kind of worried about that. That's why he ran his lings back there. All right, there's the Spire. Spire. So they're basically identical builds is what it's looking like.
저글링 보유면에서 분명히 박태민 선수가 그냥 무난하게 이런 상태로 간 다음에 조우 선수 많이
Tickety is sending me threatening texts now.
선수 지금 경기 중단을 요청했어요.
Uh-oh.
경기 진행.
What happened there?
뭐 아무튼 어쨌건 뭐
It looks like there was a pause and a resume, but they cut it out.
양 선수 간의 의사소통 뭐 이런 것은 서로
They cut out the portion of the VOD where there was nothing going on.
상관없다라고 이제 합의가 된 건 분명한 것 같아요.
네. 자, 경기가 진행됐습니다. 그리고 이에 대한 어떤 판단을 저희가 통보받는 대로 말씀드렸습니다.
그러니까 일단은 그 저글링의 우위는 분명히 박태민 선수가 가져갈 겁니다. 그런 우위는 뭐냐면 저글링 스콜지를 운영하면서 앞마당을 팽팽히 흘러갔을 때 앞마당을 보다 빨리 가져갈 수 있겠죠.
네. 박태민 선수의 마우스선이 모니터에 걸렸는지 그 마우스선이 약간 그
I have to text Diggity back, plead for my life.
그 포즈를 했다고
Kappa.
통보를 제가 받았습니다.
예, 좀 뭐 이렇게 애초에 경기 시작 전에 마우스 세팅을 한다거나 어떤 뭐 자기 자신이 평상시에 이렇게 좀 연습해 오던 이런 감도와 잘 일치하는가 안 하는가 이런 거를 좀 이렇게 맞춰보고 이러는 것도 좀 민감한 선수들이 있습니다. 그래서 세팅이 좀 다소 상대적으로는 오래 걸리는 선수도 있고 그런데 그럼 선이 약간 다른데 뭔가 이렇게 걸쳐 있고 막 이러면은 이렇게 마우스 움직이고 그럴 때 좀 이렇게 좀 신경이 쓰이는 경우가 있거든요. 예, 그런 경우였던 것 같아요.
지금 바로
What is that emote?
뮤탈리스크를 생산했는데 이거 지금
I actually can't even tell what that is.
날아가면 이거 막히죠.
네, 뉴질랜드
Oh, it's one of the Artosis face things. Okay.
한기가 추가된 그런 모습이었나 보네요. 잠깐 좀 퍼즈가 있었고 이러다 보니까
자, 그리고 뮤탈 선수
Uh-oh.
선수가
예.
약간 맞고요.
그 이유는 아마도 그런 차이죠. 그러니까 가스를 일단 먼저
Losing an Overlord is bad. He does lose it, even though he has less mutas. That's really interesting.
뒤에 보이죠? 아직 저글링들은 모두
Oh, okay, so Choja's worried about the Scourge.
뒤를 치면 이런 작전 없어요.
벌써 멀티라네요.
근데 두 선수가 팽팽해요. 지금 조영호 선수
The quad Artosis face in the chat.
생각이 너무도 비슷하게 양 선수가 이렇게 운영을 하니까 또 이런 결과가 나오네요. 보통의 경우에는 한 선수가 약간 더 이제 빠르게 멀티 타이밍을 가져가는 편이고 그러면은 그것을 응징을 하느냐, 멀티 성공을 하냐.
This is pretty close. I mean, both players are basically doing the same things right now, so
그런
I'm not sure what to think.
뮤탈리스크 싸움을 했는데 한
They're
선수가
both kind of just
기울고 보통 그러는데 지금은
macroing up. Are we gonna see another big epic ZVZ? That might be an exciting way to end this group. We've seen a couple ZVZs recently that were like huge Mutalisk battles because they ended up getting this Mutalisk arms race where both players had too many mutas to really, if they moved out on the map, they were going to be at a disadvantage and they were going to lose, and so neither player could move out onto the map. Oh, is he on? Oh, he's hunting for overlords. Spreading out. That's actually kind of dangerous. Because now he can go into the main and do a counterattack, or he can hunt for overlords of his own. Like when he knows his Mutalisks are out of place, he can go in. So they both lose an overlord.
근데 뮤탈리스크를 나눈 거는 만약에 상대방도 한 스커지 2개씩 해가지고 뭐 정찰이라도 여기저기 보내고 있었다.
Uh-oh. Oh, here's the engagement. Scourge land, but I couldn't tell if they landed well or not. It looks like Choja actually has less stuff. I think Gorish is just going to win it right here. He just has more Mutalisks. He needed the Scourge to do more. And Choja's Scourge just didn't do enough. Well, actually, he didn't have any Scourge, did he? Or he had less Scourge, at least, I forget. So now Gorish picks off. Well, what is he doing? Why is he leaving? Why is he leaving? He had free drone kills. All he had to do was kill the gas drones. And he wins. What? Why did he leave? I mean, there was like 2 Scourge there, but I don't know what he was worried about. He just won the fight. Why? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, now we have a giant Ling battle. Well, he's gonna fall back from that too, but he had a winning amount of Zerglings there, although there was Mutalisks, so maybe he's hoping the mutas were out of position. I'm really baffled. I don't know why Gorish didn't try and go for some drone kills there. He looks confident.
그래도 팽팽해요.
살아는 판을 건 듯한 그런 긴장감이 느껴지는데 또다시 앞서 승리한 뮤탈 화면 나오고 있죠?
네, 지금 워낙 그 두 선수의 실력이 대등하다는 겁니다, 지금.
그렇죠.
But anyway, as I was saying, if you end up with both players not wanting to commit to an attack, they just build up Mutalisks to infinity, and then they have a bajillion Mutalisks, and then something crazy happens in the late game. Around the time people start taking third bases. So I thought we were going to maybe end up with something like that again, but they don't seem that reluctant to attack each other after all. But like I said, I'm not sure why Go Rush fell back. He had the advantage there. Huh. I wonder what that Zoidberg was for. To scout the drone count, maybe? Looks like Go Rush might have a couple extra drones, and that's important. He's got more Lings, he's got more drones, and I think he has more Mutas. Now, if you don't have as many Mutas, you get Scourge, and so that is why we have Choja getting Scourge. I wonder what... It might be waiting for armor upgrade or something? Hey Rika Kazak. First time you've seen me. Well, surprise. It's surreal. I get that. I've had that situation myself where I see people for the first time that I've been watching on YouTube or something like that. It's kind of weird, isn't it? I'm surprised though because I was on camera in Korea a lot, so a lot of people saw me when I was casting in Korea for GOM and OGN. So, but I guess now I'm getting a lot of people that were like old YouTube subscribers that didn't watch StarCraft 2 where I was casting.
아무래도 애초에 양 선수가 선택했던 빌드가 조용호 선수 쪽이 약간 더 이제 가난한 빌드였고 그런데다가 뭐 이렇게 처음
Alright, is this gonna be it?
벌어졌을 때
He's moving out. Got a ton of stuff. No armor upgrade still. That could be a difference actually. If Choja has upgrades advantage, with this many forces, upgrades are huge. It's like a percentage that you're adding basically to the quality of your units, and at a larger number, the percentage is going to have a higher thing. You imagine me with long hair and a baseball cap? What? Interesting. Interesting. Okay, Go Rush got a third base, so he may have just been posturing to protect his third base. That's interesting. Long hair and a baseball cap. I've never had long hair. I don't usually wear a baseball cap either. I don't know what to say. What about that? It's kind of interesting image to have. I kind of want him to just fight. And like I said, I feel like Go Rush has the advantage. And so I'm not sure why he's delaying. I mean, he's using his advantage to get more of an advantage now. He's going to get that third base, and obviously once he starts getting that third gas, now he's going to be able to start pumping out a lot more Mutalisks. So that's where he's really going to kick it into high gear and be able to take a big advantage here. And he scouts it. So here's the thing. Does Cho just say, okay, my opponent has a third, I'm going to take a third? Or does he say, my opponent has a third, I need to go attack him while he's weaker from having taken a third? But I don't think he is weaker though. So I think Choja has no choice but to do some kind of harassment or attack or expand. Well, I mean, not attack, but I mean like, yeah, harassment is a good strategy, but I don't know if he can harass him. It looks like he sensed that he was going to go for that expansion. Moved his mutas into a position to intercept. Oh, is he going to go in? He's going to go in with some mutas. Not committing all of them. Trying to take out an Overlord. He's going to run. He doesn't catch him. Free Overlord. You know, if you could, I think Choja is still behind, but if he can get little victories like that, he can maybe scrape his way back into the game slowly over time. Let's see what he does. Oh, he's going for the front now. Getting some free Zergling kills. And Gorush, again, just doesn't want to commit. He's losing stuff, and he's not committing to the counterattack or to the engagement. What is he doing? Is he going to counterattack? I don't know. It might look like he was going to counter across the map. So Rika, have you like just been watching StarCraft for this whole time, keeping up with everything, or did you take some time off and came back like a lot of us, or like me, I guess I should say? Okay, here we go. Now here's the battle. A lot of Scourge coming in. I don't know if it's going to make enough of a difference, though. Gorush has more stuff, and he's got a better rallying reinforce as well. Yeah, Choja just gets demolished. And Gorush could have done that 10 minutes ago, I feel like. How is the game still going? Like, what is Choja in it for now? And why is Gorush not going to finish the job? Just A-move his main. There we go. There's the GG. So Gorush is going to get out of the group. He lost that last game against Goodfriend, but all he needed to do was win against Choja to get the 2-1 victory. Alright, so Goodfriend and Gorush are out of the group. So let me actually just pull up. Let's see if I can do this and make sure I don't spoil anything. Okay, here we go. Wants You and Husky quit. I sort of fell off from watching. Haven't watched in years. Well, that's okay. All right, so here we go. Here is... All right, let's make sure we clump this down. Okay. So here is the round of 16 results. So we had Nada and Jelizer get out. They're probably the biggest names, I would say, in this OSL now. Nada versus Jelizer. Doggy, random newer Terran player who actually, yeah, Doggy beat Max and he beat Yellow. He actually beat Yellow. He lost to Boxer though. So Doggy and Yellow advanced in this group. Yellow, and that's a little bit of a surprise. I think a lot of people expected Boxer and Yellow to get out. So Doggy, a little bit of an upset. Who did Doggy beat to give the upset? I guess he didn't really beat anyone. It was more that Boxer lost to Doggy and Max. So Max was actually a kind of an upsetter as well. Safer Zerg and Midas getting out of this group. A Safer Zerg, another kind of a surprise. Reach, unfortunately, getting out. He lost to Midas. He lost to Jeju. Although he managed to beat Safer Zerg, even though Safer Zerg advanced. So that's kind of awkward. And then Goodfriend and Gorush. So that's the round of 16. And I'm gonna probably make a video on YouTube to summarize all that. But let me see if I can pull up. I can't pull up the bracket without spoiling anything. So I'm just gonna have to leave it at that. I'll have to figure out a way to figure out who the brackets are. Any thoughts on whether Mass Hydra with Queens using Ensnare could work in ZVZ? I have no idea. Probably not, just based on the fact that I haven't seen that before. Like, I don't think I've ever seen that happen. So I feel like if it was something that was really viable, then some pro would have figured it out, right? Yeah, mutas are too strong and too fast. The thing is sometimes you actually see that in StarCraft 2 without the queens, but Hydras versus mutas. And the thing is mutas are really mobile, right? So if you have a ground army and you're trying to face mutas with a ground army, I mean, you kind of see this in TVZ as well. The ground army, the bio, are trying to chase the mutas around, and the mutas are just too fast. They go ahead and they pick something off, they get out. They go around the other side, they pick something off, they get out. The mutas can just go everywhere too much, and the Hydras can't follow. Medic Marines can't really follow either. That's why you have turrets, and that's why you have to bunker in your base and just like defend a lot when you're playing Terran versus Zerg with Medic Marines. So I feel like that's kind of how it would play. Now, if you had some sort of late game scenario where it was like mass muta versus mass muta and you were able to like get out some Hydras as a counter or something like that, maybe that could help. But again, I think the Zerg player just wouldn't take the fight where the Hydralisks were if possible. But I'm not sure. But yeah, like Doso said, it's just, the harassment would probably be too strong with the Muta player versus the Hydra player, I think. But I don't know. I've never seen that. And the other thing is, like, if they get Hydras, like, you're going to get Zerglings to go with your Mutas too, right? So, if the Zerglings can close distance with the Hydras, they're going to destroy the Hydras. So, yeah, I don't know. But I don't know. I've never seen that, so it's hard to really tell how that would work or how that would go down. Ensnare is hard to get as well. You have to get Queen's Nest. You have to get Hive. Or I guess you don't. No, you don't need the Hive. Never mind. You have to get the Queen's Nest and then an upgrade. And you have to buy the queens, and you have to wait for them to get enough energy because you can't research consume to get the queens enough energy, right? So, it's kind of expensive. Usually in ZVZ, if you're investing that much gas in a queen's nest and queens, and you're wasting time with them, not using those queens for a while, then, that's 5 extra mutas that you could have had that instead your opponent is getting 5 mutas. And, yeah. Hydras being ranged can potentially counter lings too if the lings can't flank at a choke. Yeah, theoretically, that's true. I mean, yeah, I think if it was like a straight up battle and it was good positioning, I think Hydras would do well against lings. But what I would envision is probably the Mutalisks would go in first, and then the lings would come in underneath the Mutalisks and close the distance while the Hydras are engaged with the Mutalisks, and then the lings would just do too much damage. Because you can't, you couldn't target fire the Zerglings with the Hydralisks enough, right? And the Mutalisks would be doing a lot of damage, so. I don't know. I can't say for sure though. Who knows if that would work? Probably the problem would just be getting there, getting to enough Hydras, getting Ensnare would be kind of too expensive, Yeah. I understand that. Yeah, you're right. I mean, like, if it was in a choke point, then the Hydras in the back could fire at the lings in the front, right? But if you're at a pro level, no Zerg player is going to engage in a choke point. They're going to harass with Mutalisks, and when you bring your Hydras out to attack into the open, then they're going to attack with the surround when they can do that, right? They're not going to engage in a choke point. They're just going to hold back, I think. That's my theory, at least. But like I said, I've never actually seen it, so who knows? It could be a viable thing if you like got super late game where you just had so much money that like you could afford to buy a few queens. I don't know. All right, let's see. How long have we been streaming for? 2.5 hours, not super long. But yeah, I think we might just watch like one more game if anyone has like a request or something like that, and then I'm probably gonna head out because I just want a little bit of a chill evening stream just for a little bit, and then what is this? I got some recommendations on the side of random StarCraft games. I could watch one of those. You can see the recommendations that I get on my YouTube channel. These are all Jenny Nicholson. She does like movie pick parts and stuff like that. Usually Disney and that kind of thing. Hydras and queens don't really require much gas. How much? I thought queens require a fair amount of gas, don't they? StarCraft, Brood War, queens. Let's see. Queens, yeah, queens take 100 gas. And the ensnare ability takes 100 gas. And the queen's nest, I believe, is at least 50 gas. Let me see. Oh, queen's nest. Queen's nest is 100 gas as well. So if you're making, let's say 3 queens, and you're getting the upgrade, that's 500 gas. So that's about 5 meters. But also the main thing is like you have to wait for enough energy. Ensnare. Does this say how much? I'm sorry, I should probably show this. So here's the queen. So this is 100 gas. Ensnare is 100 gas. It takes almost a minute. It doesn't say how much energy it costs for ensnare though. Does it? Oh, here we go. 75 energy. Okay. How much do they start with? Starting energy 50. So, okay, so you don't have to wait super long for the amount of energy, but the main thing is that if you make 2 queens or 3 queens in research and snare, you know, that's 400 gas and you have to wait a minute for that. So it's a significant investment. I mean, even if you only get 1 or 2 queens, you know, it's a bit of an investment. And the thing is like ZVZ is usually so volatile that, like, if there's a point in time where they have 3 or 4 mutalisks more than you, then you could just lose, right? Because this is the difference between, instead of 12 mutas versus 12 mutas, it's 12 versus 8, right? And then you just lose the battle and you lose the game if they attack you. So it's a risk, because if they attack you during that time when you haven't gotten your queens out, then it's a risk. And I guess, yeah, if you're making hydras instead of queens to go with it, then that's a different scenario. And then maybe you have the leeway to do that if you have enough hydralisks. But like I said, I've just never seen it. So it's hard to tell what it's like. I remember I was watching a TVZ mech game, and I was like, why is the Zerg not sending in Zerglings? And G5 was in the chat, and he's like, oh, well, have you ever seen Goliaths take on Zerglings? They do really well. And I was like, no, I haven't seen Goliaths take on Zerglings. That's why I don't know they do well. And I was like, that's probably why I haven't seen Goliaths versus Zerglings, because Zerg players know that the Goliaths do well against the Zerglings, and so they don't make Zerglings against them. So, I don't know. Buy time for Hive and Plague? I don't know. Hey, you know what? Try it out. I am a believer that the meta is still not fixed even after 20 years, and people can still come up with new things, you know? So try it out, see if it works. But more importantly, like, I usually think of things at the highest level of play, like what would a pro gamer do? And the pro gamer's play is usually so tight that like trying to go hydras and ensnare could work probably at a lower level. But at the pro gamer level, I don't think it would work, just by virtue of the fact that we haven't seen anything like that before. And so, like, I feel like if it could work, someone would have tried it by now, you know? I don't know. But then again, we have seen this spell used in pro play. I just casted a game a few months ago where Zero did Infested Command Center on that map that had a neutral command center in the middle of the map. He made infested Terrans and dropped them like bombs. He did bombing runs with overlords filled with infested Terrans on top of the Protoss base. It was crazy. Yeah, that's another thing too, is if you're turtling, then the Zerg can take more bases. That's the response. And that's the general response in StarCraft, right? If your opponent is too turtled up, then you expand. They're using their resources to turtle, so you use your resources to get more resources, and then in the end you can theoretically get more than they had, unless there's some sort of a timing attack to catch you, right? So spawn broodling is 150 cost. That's a lot. That's one thing where when you do see, occasionally you actually do see in ZVT, you'll see Zerg players get a bunch of queens, and then if it's like late game and they've got extra money, they'll get a bunch of queens and they'll park them in the corner of the map and just let them charge up energy for a while they get spawn broodling, because it's so much energy. 150 energy from 50, they have to wait a long time. So they'll put the queens in the corner and wait around for them to get enough energy for the spawn broodling, and then they'll go in and like spawn broodling a bunch of tanks and stuff like that, which is kind of fun to watch. Who did I see? Was it Zero? Someone did that in a game I saw recently, but I don't remember if it was pro game, like if it was an ASL game, or if it was just someone's stream that I was watching. It might have just been a stream. It might have been watching Zero's stream on Twitch or something like that. I do not know. Anyway, do we have any requests for games or anything like that? Every pro Zerg did it for a while, even in ASL. I did not know that. I didn't see that. I haven't, like I said, I've only been watching ASL for like the last season, so I'm not actually super familiar with. That's why I cast these old games. I know the old games better than I know the new stuff. So let's see if this says anything about competitive usage of queens. Rarely used in ZVZ. Occasionally appear in the longer game situation. And they do use Ensnare in ZVZ actually with Mutus in the late game. I've seen that a few times. Since Mutilus stack, a single Ensnare can cripple a large number of them. Actually, what does Ensnare do? Okay, it does affect rate of fire. That's what I thought. Attack speed reduced by 18%. So that's significant. It's not like a huge crippling blow, but 18% is significant on the rate of fire. Versus Terran, most commonly used but still rare. Micromanagement necessary to control queens through defensive forces and missile turrets without any attacking ability. Macro based. Yeah, queens can be an effective counter to siege tank formations with spawn broodling. Infest command center. Ensnare. Yeah, Ensnare is good late game against infantry as well, actually, come to think of it. Spawn broodling could be used on enemy High Templar. But the costs make it difficult. Okay. Ensnare is good cast on groups of interceptors or carriers. Yeah, so Ensnare seems to be that's what I've seen too. I think Ensnare is like one of the main reasons that queens are used. So it's too bad if we need special maps where there's neutral creep colonies or something, so you can build spores or something before hatcheries to expand. Since I don't know how that affects other matchups, but could be one way to make ZVZ enter late game more. Well, you couldn't morph a neutral creep colony into a spore. You wouldn't have ownership of it. But I mean, it is possible these days, or it's possible since the Kespa era. It was Zero and another player who I read about the other day, Action or Killer or something like that. Great, it was great. Zero and also players like Great were kind of able to show that you could get to late game in ZVZ, right? In a different way by using defensive buildings. In these games that we've been watching in 2005, the late game ZVZs are because there's just a big giant muta arms race, just sheer mutas, and both players are afraid to attack, right? But back in like 2009 or 10, that's when Zero was like, oh yeah, well, I'm just going to make some creep colonies and I'm going to defend well, you know, you might get more gas, but I'm going to get a second base, so I'm going to get more gas in the long run. And then they were able to use defensive buildings to get it to a late game. So it is viable to use defensive buildings like spores and sunks to get into a late game scenario and try and get an advantage that way. So that's not unreasonable. But when nearly all Terrans went mech versus Zerg, the maps favored it. Yeah, I mean, that's something I don't know exactly a lot about how those dynamics work, but for sure, the way the maps are set up is definitely something that that factors into it. And we saw on the air map that's in this Star League where you have an expansion for free on your little island at the beginning. We keep seeing Terrans go mech versus Zerg because it's like, yeah, free expansion. So I guess they feel like it's easier to do that. Although they've lost the game both times I've seen that. So who knows if it's actually good or not. StarCraft is a crazy game, man. Crazy game. It's kind of amazing that even after 20 years of playing it, people are still changing things up and discovering new ways of doing things and adapting to each other back and forth. And, you know, the meta strategy is still always growing and changing, and the way that maps are built are growing and changing to make things new and interesting. And so here we are in 2020, and it's still a lively game. It hasn't been solved really, you know, except for Flash, of course. Larva versus Flash on Crossing Field. Oh, is that why you're mentioning that game earlier? Is that your favorite game, Luis? You mentioned that game earlier too. Queens were the key on Larva. Is that? I wonder if that's mentioned here. Notable games. Let's see. Jaedong versus Fantasy in the Pro League. It's Crazy Hydra versus C. Lita versus Sulky. Light versus Jaedong. Oh, it's an MSL semifinal too. Let's watch it. Light versus Jaedong. What is this? Oh, this is a replay of the previous game. Okay. Oh, okay, we can watch this. So yeah, I mean, you do get Hydras versus Mech. Whoop. I missed it again. Hold on, let me pull this up so I can thank you, whoever that was. Where is my thing? Here it is. Austin! Thank you, sir. Appreciate the donation, the support. Happy holidays once again to you as well. He says, just received my final gift this year as a surprise shout out. Thank you for what you were doing and happy holidays. I don't know if he's watching the stream right now, so Austin, if you're watching the stream, thank you. But let me see if I can find the chat again to see if I can find out where he is. I've got too many. This is pretty cool. Look at this. Dark Swarms with Hydras versus Mech is actually pretty sick. It's not like the best versus tanks, but oh, look at that. Actually, those tanks are going to slaughter those Hydras even under Swarm. This is just a replay of the previous game too, right? Yeah. Yeah, this is some crazy late game stuff. Like they've got the replay bar covered by their little pop up here. But look at Jaedong. Look at the minimap though. Look at the minimap. Jaedong has so much of the map right now. Like, those tanks can hold out for a long time, but I'll bet this is where he loses. He's moving out on the map. It's gonna make him vulnerable. Actually, I don't know who wins this game actually, but I suspect that Jaedong wins it.
저구는 전방위적으로 뛰어다니면서 테란의 어떤 중심을 좀 흔들기 위해서 예를 들어 가디언으로 흔들면서 상대방의
This isn't the game with queens though. This is just the previous set, and then we're gonna get into the VOD with the queens in it. I think I'm gonna head out after that.
테란의 병력이 업그레이드가 되면서 치명상을 입지 않았다라는 것도 경기에서 아주 주요하게 작용했었던 것 같습니다.
네, 자 이제 한 경기를 잡아내면은.
Alright, so that was the previous game.
있는 전장이기 때문에 이재동 선수
Let's get into this game here.
여기까지 왔어요. 근처까지 갔어요. 후반 가면은 이재동이 못 이기는 상황이 계속 나오거든요.
Let's see.
초중반은 모르겠습니다만은 후반 가면 못
Actually, Jaedong is behind. Two games to one. So maybe Jaedong won that last game, but this is a best of 5, so Jaedong has to win it. Good night, Zerg Troll. Thank you very much for hanging out, chatting, and the sandwich as well. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing well and have a good rest of your holidays. Let's skip forward a little bit till this game gets kind of going a little bit, you know. If there's no barracks or spawning pool yet, nothing's gonna happen, right? So let's skip ahead until something could happen. But yeah, I think I'm gonna cut this stream a little bit short. I'm gonna cut it out after this game is what I'm thinking. Just gonna chill out a little bit. I wanted to have a nice little stream. It was cool to get some chatting in and hang out, talk about StarCraft with folks, but I also have to go to the bathroom. Oh, it's this map with the neutral arbiters. I remember this map now. Very interesting map. Neutral arbiters over neutral infinite eggs. So it's basically like a blockade that you can't get through, but you can walk units, you can walk workers through the eggs to get to expansions. But you can't move units through them unless you kill the eggs. And you can't kill the eggs until you get rid of the arbiters to decloak the eggs to attack the eggs. Unless you figure out some other crazy way of getting through them. See, now he's actually killed that arbiter slowly with one marine so he can start killing the eggs slowly. It's gonna take forever to kill those eggs with a marine, unupgraded marine, but because I think eggs have enough. Yeah, go after the overlord instead. That's better attack. And he's gonna spot these factories. It's mech. 4 factories off of 2 bases. He's gonna lose that overlord, but that's all well worth it. Now Jaedong has 3 bases and he's gonna go for a 4th right now. That is actually kind of crazy. I'm actually not sure why that works or where that comes from. Like why he why the response to the mech is an extra base. Maybe because I think he's gonna. I mean, mech is especially good at bunkering in. That might be why. I think that's probably why. Because mech, you can get some tanks, you can hold out forever, but it's harder to move across the map with a small amount of mech. You can move across the map with a small amount of bio and become a threat. But you can't move across the map with a small amount of mech and be much of a threat because at low numbers, Zerglings are going to pounce on. Oh, he canceled one of the factories? After the overlord was dead? That is kind of interesting. I wonder what that's about. Maybe it was some kind of an all-in? And now he's going to be defensive instead? That's interesting. He can actually use the overlord to get vision of the eggs, so he can actually kill the eggs without killing the arbiter first. So there's, I guess, multiple ways to get through that situation. So now he's out with mutas. Free for all is my favorite game type. Very different unit composition. Build for Z. Good Lings, Hydras, Burrow, and Queens, and Snare can be a good idea.
벌처를
Yeah, that's one of the interesting things about that. Now, I don't play FFA almost ever, but I've been watching lately. I've been watching some 3v3s on fastest. There's a streamer that I watch called Doey. Doejully, Doey July. Well, he's just Cop Doey is his Korean like ID or whatever. But he plays on fastest map, and it's similar where every build that he does is going to be against multiple different types of enemies, different races in the 3v3. So he has to make builds that are like that are useful against a lot of different strategies. Whether or not you or your enemy has room to expand anyways to get extra income. Yeah. I haven't played FFAs in a long time. FFAs are crazy too because then like not only do you not know what units to go against, but you like have to decide, do I want to attack or do I want to defend? Because if I attack, I'm putting myself at risk of being attacked back. So it's like you kind of like have to win an FFA, you have to attack last. But at the same time, you kind of want to hurt your enemies also, you know, make sure that they're not getting out of control. I'm sure there's probably a whole meta around FFAs that I don't know about, actually. These mutas are just going ham on these Goliaths. He's going all in on, well, not all in, but he's going in hard with these, and that's 'cause I guess the Goliaths were divided up, so he could do that, pick off part of the Goliaths. And can he actually? Oh, vultures. Not a ton of kills, but he's gonna stop mining there. Oh, can he actually? Can Light actually even get to that expansion? Okay, the Goliaths can get through there, I think. Yeah, they could. He's still kind of stuck there. There's so many mutas, though. He's just cut so many mutas. He's just like almost ignoring the turret. No, he's attacking the turret now as well. Haven't heard of a guide or a meta for FFAs. Okay. I guess I was thinking like if there was something that was played often, then you'd end up developing a meta. Like the 3v3 fastest has like its own meta. There's certain special strategies and stuff that people will use on those maps.
계산대로라면 이재호 선수의 머릿속의 계산대로라면은 벌써 중립 멀티를 하나 혹은 두 개 이렇게 저가 폈어야 되는 상황입니다. 그렇죠. 근데 그
That's a lot of mutas though. There's supposed to be queens in this game. I'm waiting for them. Oh, there's the queens. Okay. Oh, he's gonna cap the command center with the queen, isn't he? The command center only has to get to half health. There he goes. SCV's actually run away. He could have just killed it, but instead he's going to capture it. Light is like, oh crap. Oh crap. It's difficult for Zerg. I've noticed that's the case. Oh, is he going to get the other command center as well? He's trying to repair it. Where's the queen? The queen's hovering above it. Is he going to get it? He's target firing. Is he going to repair it enough? Oh, he got it in. Once the queen gets in there, it's over. There's no recovering it. He just kept 2 command centers in a row by muta-bombing them with a queen. Oh my goodness. And there's the Valkyrie, but it's too late. Oh, that is funny. That is funny. Oh, he's even gonna build another command center right next to it. That would have been funny if he tried to build infested Terrans. It wouldn't have worked, but it would have been funny. But yeah, in the fastest maps, the Zerg players have the, from what I understand in the meta for those, the Zergs have the hardest early game. So you either do some kind of a Zergling rush, or you have to, what is this Scourge for? Oh, there's the ensnare on the Goliaths. Alright, we saw some ensnare. Wow. He ensnares the Goliaths. He scourges the Valkyrie and goes in with mass mutas for the kill. This is insane. There's the GG. Oh man.
역시 쉽지 않아요. 예.
And Light is like, what just happened to me? Look at him. He's like, what just happened? Oh, that is funny. He's like, well, that's embarrassing. Oh, poor Light. Poor Light. He's still playing too, by the way. He's done well in the last ASLs. Anyway, I think I am going to end it there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to try and get some work done this evening, do some other stuff. I'm actually going to try and make a digital gift for my dad, since he actually doesn't celebrate Christmas, but it's his birthday around now. So I want to make him a birthday gift. So anyways, but thanks everyone for watching, and GG's one and all. I'm going to go ahead and find someone to give a little tiny raid to on, if you're on Twitch. I'm going to do a raid, so let's see who we can raid here. I'm going to just see who is online that I want to raid. We can raid my friend Elimir. This is a cool streamer that I like. She's playing a horror game, Phasmophobia, which is not StarCraft at all. Well, let me see. Actually, let me just double check, see if there's anyone on the StarCraft. Twitch. Browse. StarCraft. Let me see if there's anyone I know on here. Oh, we can give Gypsy a raid, so we can keep watching some StarCraft, actually. Why don't we do that? We'll give Gypsy a raid. So, anyway, let's see here. Maps, defense. Make it stronger for free-for-all. Fighting 2v1. Yeah, don't people usually do, like, hunters for free-for-all? Because it's just like a well-known 8-player map, right? Or something like that. I don't know. Like I said, I've only played a few free-for-alls in my life, and they've mostly been memes with friends and stuff like that, so I don't know too much about it. Anyway, but yeah, thanks everyone for joining, and thanks for chatting, Attila. Thanks for your input on that, and get me to think about some different ideas with StarCraft. Let's go ahead and raid Gypsy, though. Let's pop him up here. And we'll put him on the raid that'll start in a little bit. So thank you very much for watching, and Merry Christmas if you celebrate Christmas. Happy Hanukkah, a little bit late if you're a Hanukkah person. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy Saturnalia if you're an ancient pagan. Merry Festivus for the rest of us if you're a Seinfeldian. And hope you all have a Happy New Year as well, and that we can all start looking up to things hopefully improving in 2021. BGH and Hunters are bad maps, but oh well, yeah. They're fun though. They're generic, you know. I usually play a lot of BGH games with Diggity versus AIs and stuff like that, so I love that map for that, but it's probably not great for FFAs. Anyway, so yeah, thanks very much for watching, everybody, and take care, and I will catch y'all next time. GG, thanks for watching.